We're live. Hello, and welcome to Distant Dungeons. It has been a hot minute, but we are back, hopefully with a little bit more regular scheduling. But for today, we are hopping in back to another session of Age of the Sleeping Gods. To give a bit of a reintroduction since it's been a while as well, and also because we have a bit of a extra player for these couple of sessions while we have a friend of ours who is on hiatus. Right now, Sleeping Gods, I, as Cassandra, am DMing for this particular campaign. We have Adam, who is playing our necromancer human, quote-unquote human, Zenkela. We have our Shadarkai elf ranger, Nathan, who is playing Silen. We have Kiara, who is playing our Harengon warlock. Harengon being these more bunny humanoids, since they are a little bit more esoteric as a race. And lastly, Russell, who has joined the campaign a little bit later, who is playing a bugbear paladin as Sir Onslaught.
Good.
Yeah. So, to give a broad synopsis of this campaign, the original three heroes, being Silen, Zenkela, and Ostra, were recruited by this pantheon of gods, requiring them to help free them from their current imprisonment and predicament, as their realms are being taken over by the waking gods. They have been doing odd missions, discovering some elements of themselves, finding memories, interacting with strange entities, and learning who they are and what they represent. Silen discovering that they are the Dreamwalker, this entity of the sleeping world that seems to hold great power and position. And recently, with Sir Onslaught joining the group, Zenkila and Ostra also learned a little bit about who they were in life. These legendary heroes, part of great myths of ancient times. Zenkila having been this strange horror story of a conquering, essentially lich-level entity. And Ostra being...
Very girl boss, but if I miss
Yeah, very girl boss indeed. Gatekeep girl boss. Yeah. And Ostra being referred to as the Spellbreaker. This apparently part of the story told of the Spellbreaker and the Curious Mage having to do with the beginning of the war with the sleeping and waking gods, having caused some kind of cataclysmic conflict there and gave way for the actual war to begin. But you discover this. Sir Onslaught introducing themselves, they seem to be an agent of Ankam, one of the sleeping gods, and one who is currently taken Ostra under their wing as ward, as the others also have their respective deities who have taken them under their wing. And Onslaught is essentially has been brought in to help guide them towards the Dreaming City, and further from that, the Forge of Promise. This location within Ankam's domain that from there they can craft deific weapons in order to be able to fight the arch spells and whatever the waking gods send their way. Yeah, that is general synopsis as to what happened last time. You had all arrived to the Dreaming City, where you met the hustle and bustle of the Dreamlands that is a little bit more mundane compared to everything else. It is a fully functioning town, perhaps a little bit more esoteric in its structure, but the people are people. They have markets, they have places to live, lives that they live, and yeah, you did some shopping, you got some magic items, made a deal with the main artificer of the town, and if I pulled up the correct tab with my notes, I'd be able to tell you who that was, which is...
Person McPersington.
Person McPersington. You were very close. Let's see. What do I have?
Todd.
It's not Todd. Todd. Yes, Todd Temple. This goblin who apparently has like a Warforged helper. And you also learn from the perspective that Sir Onslaught seems to be a staple member of the community here. Everyone seems to know him. Everyone seems to love him. Yeah. You talked with the Forge Mistress, this person that Ankam directed you to. You gave her something, a note with a gift or parcel. Seemed to have some emotional value, after which she was willing to help you. The Lady Calva. You provided her a template of what you wanted your weapons to be, and she is crafting you the base so that the Forge can use that base for the weapon you want. In particular, Ostra having given her specific pact weapon, which is a lot more of sentimental value when it comes to how warlocks operate. Yeah, after that, you walked around until you happened upon this group of worshippers of... Yeah, worshippers of the Hayek, who were being very rude and very arrogant to the denizens of the city. You stepped in, you demanded that they show respect and apologize, and a fight ensued. It was not per se one-sided, but you defeated them quite thoroughly. You learned that they were in some way or form affiliated with the local elves, particularly the Court of Autumn, seemed to have come in as reinforcements at the end of the fight.
Together with someone that may or may not be someone else's child.
Yes, with some connection with Selene there, as this like red-headed, like razzle hair autumn elf Eladrin riding atop a horse seemed to perhaps remind Selene of something, and an interaction happened as they left, which perhaps this is some long-lost child of a life forgotten. But you moved on. The Nihaik worshippers decided to not risk their lives any further than they had to, and accepted the demands. The Eladrin apologized on their behalf, and they walked out of the city. And you were celebrated by the denizens and taken to the nearby tavern, where you were fully treated to a meal, drinks, merriment, and all the hallmarks of celebration. You were given safe lodging by the tavern keep, and you each had a room to go to, and you went to sleep. As you did, Ostre, most specifically, had a bit of a unwelcome visitor in the night, as this strange, masked individual had entered your small quarters, in some way or form paralyzed you, and requested you to join the Mistress of Acceptance, to understand that what you're doing is wrong, and you should change your course accordingly. And we ended there, and the shadows in your room, Ostra, had been filling the whispers of the same voice, just like echoing across the various silhouetted figures, and then they all kind of pull back into this person, and the person just vanishes, and you feel your body return to you. Your control is yours, but you are...
What time is it?
It would have been no more than like reasonably a couple of hours into your rest.
It's too late for me to do shit about this. I'm going to go back to bed.
Okay. You try and sleep as you take whatever rest you can. It is hard. The voice continues to echo throughout your dreamless sleep.
I've tempted to commit violence upon my pillow, but it's the only one I have, so I mustn't.
It's barely a pillow as well.
Still comfy. Okay.
Yeah. It's comfier than what you're used to. This is true. Yeah. You all manage to rest. You awake. You know
Hopefully.
that the Forge Mistress will probably be ready with your fundamental weapon or staff or whatever you had requested for. If not already, then perhaps within an hour or two as day breaks.
My two spell slots are back.
Yes, they are. That's how that works.
Okay.
And every time, let's remind our viewers that I always try to get points, but alas.
Yes, Warlock, sadly. We do work by spell point variant for most spellcasters, but Warlocks have to follow Pact Magic.
Are being
Okay.
hate crime.
Yes, everyone's
Abide
being,
by their patron.
everyone's being hate crimed according to us. That's okay.
I had a question. Two things. The Ray of Sickness from the piety thing, that's free, right?
The Ray of Sickness from D?
From the piety points.
Oh, yes, it doesn't cost you spells.
Okay, just to make sure.
It might have a
and-
limited number of uses per day, but
Yes, 4. And I can't upcast those, right? It's just one.
no, those are fixed at their level.
And last thing, 4th level spells are 6, right? Spell points.
Yes.
Okay, that's it.
Nice.
Alright. Suppose I did anime dead the night before.
Yes, to my knowledge.
believe.
To my knowledge, you did.
Type. So I'm good. And Zach will probably wake up. Where would I think they would? I think my skeletons would be in my room.
Yeah. There was a reminder that necromancy and undead weren't treated like
Yeah.
they're normal in the city.
Okay.
That's true.
So they could have
Yeah, I'll
waited
wake up.
outside. They could have waited
Check
in
up.
their room.
Check up on all of them. Be like, make sure they're all clean and ready to go.
Yeah, two of them in
Um,
particular are very clean because you got them
Oh, yeah.
recently from
Oh,
the resident up and coming necromancer.
Well, let's macaroni our way out.
Okay.
That's feeling good.
And
that we-
Zenkanan heads up.
As we meant to shoot. We managed to pester off those losers.
Yeah.
from the day before.
yeah.
And I
The
head
I'll-
downstairs.
I'll descend and wait outside for everyone to arrive. I suppose.
I joined the
Would it be possible for Selene, because they only need 4 hours of
that's true.
sleep? Like, would they have been able to
Oh.
explore around town a bit?
You could have. I'll allow that. Is there
I can
anything
join
that
you if you'll need
interests you,
or anything.
like as a general category of things?
I think Selene is more curious on how this place operates and
Okay.
like what is happening.
Okay.
If it's if it's mainly above board, if it's like unruly. Curious.
Okay.
No real goal in mind other than finding out how
So-
this place works.
So the general vibe seems to be there is no official like rule of law. There is no like military presence or police force that is like seemingly upholding any law. But the vibe you're getting is that everyone here kind of operates on a agreement. They're all like being very nice to each other in general. What happened yesterday was very odd to the denizens there. It was like, but seemingly it's something they had mentioned and something that you do notice on occasion. It seems like the influence of the waking gods is beginning to seep into the city. Not directly, but through the worshippers of the waking gods and anyone who has perhaps best way to put it is turned cold. You get the vibe that the district where the Forge Mistress and where Todd's Temple is a lot more community forward. They seem to be very tight knit, and it's like people there seem to all know each other. It's like it's very much the vibe of for Malta standards, tħalt fl-isqaq. Tipo, and everyone knows everyone there. It's like tipo, and that's the vibe there. When you're in more of the bigger zones, you can tell that there is like a little bit of tension. Like people are talking and moving around and participating in general bartering. There isn't much like using coin, but more like bartering of items. But then you notice like people are being very attentive. There's like maybe 3 people that are laying off to one side and they're keeping their eye out, and then one of them like sees something and walks off. The general vibe is like this used to be a free town that operated under very loose rules that everyone respected, and lately there's been a regime change, and now it's like some people are trying to get a one-up from that regime change. That's like, I think, what Selen's insight would lend him for 4 hours of like going around. No, otherwise, it's very... The system of the city is very... You have stuff to trade, you can trade for lodging. Coin does exist, but it's not as prevalent.
Yeah. Do I get the vibe that there's like unofficial districts? Kind of like in this section, these people live. It's like, and in this section, there's like.
There is a little bit. The main district that's a lot more like clear is where Calva, Todd's Temple. There's also the Nightmare Sap, where you are like this area is very its own space. Then the other big district that's like very clear is where the Hotel Astalon is. This is like, it is a big, flashy hotel structure. Like it is not a skyscraper per se, but it's like, it's a 9-story building, which is, it dominates the landscape compared to everything else.
It's the only one that is like...
Yeah, there's there might be another building that's a little bit more of like a spire thing, and it might look like, maybe it might have been a temple to one of the sleeping gods. Looking from outside, it doesn't have a lot of aesthetic to it, but that is like, it is clearly the big thing. And the fact the district is like, while it's not an official district, clearly a district has formed around it. And a lot of this talking and like not tattling, but this, like, you notice a lot of conversations going on. It's happening there in that district, and people go to the hotel, go in, seemingly rushing in with information, and that's kind of the vibe. Yeah.
People with information go there.
Yeah. It seems like 3 people are talking, they point out someone, they talk a little bit more, and then one of them runs off, and they run off to the hotel.
Where we slept is not there.
No.
Okay.
You were in fact told that the hotel is run by someone who will take any opportunity to gain an advantage. Astalon Calavas was the name given, and he is not a great person, and the tavern Keep Linda from the Nightmare Sap was like, I'm gonna find you a place to stay so that you don't have to risk going there.
Selen would kind of open the lobby real quick, kind of like nonchalantly, like
Okay.
kind of like go in, or like kind of take a look around, listen if there's like anything of note, and like
Okay.
go back.
You go in, and immediately a lot of sense hit you. There's this like massive sort of artificial flowers. It feels very... You have walked into a hotel, like a very modern... The vibe is 1920s hotel. That's like what you've just walked
so
into.
like
there's music
So
playing.
this
there's
feels
like
very out of place.
Yes, it's like I mean there isn't technology
Okay.
like any advanced technology in
Yeah,
it,
yeah, yeah.
but the vibe
But
is
the
very
vibe
like
is like I've never seen anything like this
yes,
ever.
yes. Like there's a proper bellhop you see like dressed in that like the hat with the uniform pushing a cart with the bag with luggages and stuff, and they're like moving across.
Bourgeoisie got it good.
Yeah. There's a reception. There's a
The
specific.
bourgeois help.
Yeah, it is. Hey. There is a reception desk, and you can clearly see. Let's see. Yes, the luggage handlers. Yeah, and then you can clearly see this individual, clearly like a very butler aesthetic of like black suit Dana, and there are like 5 cleaner maids of varying races and genders are like in front of him, and he's just like, okay, floor 7 needs a clean up. The 2 of you go, and he's like directing off people. Yeah, currently that would be what you would see. There's music playing somewhere deeper in this floor. Like you've walked into the lobby, there is clearly stairs that go up, and you can already see like the first set of rooms, and then there's like a doorway, like an open archway realistically, where music is coming from, and it seems like there might be something happening in there. Yeah. Very
There's not
jazzy.
really like people like chatting here in the lobby.
No, actually, no. In fact, like you try to keep note of like people that you saw outside come in, and they are not here anymore. Like they're not in the lobby. It's like if they walked, they entered somewhere else.
Okay.
But there are a lot
I
of
think-
places where they could go. Like you're looking. from
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, I think that's about it.
Okay.
And then we'll just like chillantly leave.
Alright. As you go to leave, I'll say, yeah. Actually, you know what? You're trying to be very like stealthy with this. Like you're trying to really not draw attention, or are you just walking in?
What are Selene would what would people be wearing that are going in and out?
They're varied. Like the people who seem to work here look very odd compared to everyone else. But people who walk in look kind of like your group. They're like
Okay.
adventurers, sort of. Some of them
Yeah.
look a little bit more regal. You can tell
Mm.
that there are people who might be a little bit more upper classy, that maybe want like a more
Okay.
finer experience. But otherwise, there's a mix. It's more the hotel staff that is weird.
Yeah. So I guess Selene would
It's a
try
bit
to just like
anachronistic.
in-
It's a bit too modern.
Yeah. That's,
Uh-huh.
that's-
I think Selene would like try and like invoke the charm thing so that they're kind of
Okay. Okay.
not Selene, and just like
But you're.
just a regular Joe.
But
We're just kind of like
you are there.
he's
though,
not
as a
trying to
person.
actively stealth.
Okay.
Yeah, he's
so
not
yeah.
trying to actively stealth. He will walk in, go around, and like head back out.
Okay. Then as you go to head out, this tiefling man steps out of nowhere in front of you. Good sir! Hello! Are you looking for a place to stay? And you are hit by the scent that the very artificial scent is wafting off of this person. He has these very like immaculate horns that are like curved up to the tip, a very very like well groomed white hair, purplish skin, these like black beady eyes, and is just like hands behind back. Hello. So you want a place to stay? Please. Let me show you.
Selene will. At first, he's like, okay. It is like, oh, okay. And like without trying to be too rude, Selene, while sidestepping,
Okay.
is
He
that
turns
is
like
I-
maintaining eye contact with you.
okay. It's
Mhm.
like that is okay. I was merely trying to find my friend, but he does not seem
Oh.
to be here.
Perhaps we can check. We can ask Davis if perhaps they've checked in.
That is okay. They said they would, and like I am walking backwards and talking to him.
And you see him like
that is okay.
follow you up to the step of the hotel. Like you've walked out. He's right there at the hotel entrance. Okay, well, if you're looking for a place to stay for you and your friend, Hotel Astalon is ready to greet you with all of its services. I can assure you, you will not find a better service anywhere this side of the Dreamlands. And
I nod courteously, like, thank you very much for your time. I would like to insight check.
Yes.
Tiefling.
Our conversation was like
Handsome
an
tiefling.
introvert being talked to by an extrovert, and it was so accurate.
Go for it. You may insight check away. It is true.
Rather than
I kind of want to see the vibe of this man.
Yes.
If they are
Rather than introvert and extrovert, I feel like it was more of a man desperately trying to sell you something, and you very much
Yeah,
don't
like
care
the-
about it.
you walk into the bazaar, he's like, I got discount for you, sir. Discount. You did no better discount than anywhere else. That's a 15 total.
15.
I want to see if this person is if this is just a script from this person, if they're like genuine, or is it just kind of come into my lair kind of vibe?
The second. It is the latter. It is objectively that you feel there was even, as much as you are hiding your own power, you understand some element of domain magic. It is something, not that I've explained it before, but like you can surmise. It's like Yersala had her domain, her little nook where you recognize this is someone's domain. You felt in that space, you were in that person's domain. It is small.
Okay.
It is not the same as Yersala's level of like power, but something is building there, and that person is building a domain there, and you know you talked to Astalon Calafas, who seems to own the hotel.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question. Like,
So do I feel that I talked to him, to
Yes.
the guy?
Yes,
Okay.
you talked to
Man.
the guy.
Interesting.
He seemed to, out of nowhere, appear as you left, and it very much did not feel like he clocked you and was in the room there. He came out of nowhere. He sent someone enter his domain and wanted to check it.
Yeah,
That's the
An
vibe.
automatic bellboy.
that is fair.
the most
when
like
I would just continue after this, walking around. Would I take a glance like behind, like is he still clocking me?
He
Is
would
he still eyes on me?
he would look at you as you walk away for a while and then turns. He doesn't continue.
Okay.
Like as soon as you sort of leave and you also begin to blend with the crowd, I think you would recognize that he would find it hard to keep track of you. And then eventually like loses interest.
Yeah.
And seems like
Yeah, Selene will just do that for like an hour or two and then just head back.
Lovely. Eventually, I'd say all of you can meet. I think the most easiest place would be outside the Nightmare Sep, the tavern.
That's where I would wait exactly.
Yeah,
Hmm.
you all convene there together. And yeah, unless there's anything, there are other areas that if you're interested to look around in the town, you can. The one other place of note that you haven't visited that has been spoken of to you is Bilbert's Bank of Business. That is something Todd mentioned. Otherwise, the Forge Mistress is probably ready with the stuff. And you can always like peruse further in the town and discover other niche things, but those are the last things that are like on the list. On whatever.
So,
Well, I would say, yeah, I mean, yeah, if you want to, the last place of interest is the bank. So I don't know if any of you are interested in that. But if not, we can go ahead, go to Lady Calva. I'm sure she's expecting us.
I think we've met enough snobby people for one day, night, couple of hours.
Not all that. You saw Todd, very down to earth, and there were a lot of people yesterday, and the owners of the Nightmare Sap.
Bilford
My
is also part of the
satisfactory-
community. It's part of the community space. in
Okay,
fact.
so I would know that he's
He's
very down to earth as well.
He's gonna be okay.
Okay.
I'll be honest, my
And
social
Bilford,
battery is
Bilford
quite
is fair enough. I wouldn't want to upset Zenkila. A shudder runs through my spine. runs
very
through my
smart,
spine.
young man. Very
Well,
broad, I see.
on to Lady Calva then, please.
Alright.
DM,
Yes.
we said that this place, the currency is basically the
Rating, I
the
believe.
god's face on the coins, correct?
So-
By like domain.
So it is. Those are special coins.
Okay.
There is general gold and silver pieces that exist. You see people use them sometimes, but for the most part, people seem to trade more in stuff. You can clearly tell that like you see a group of people walk up to an open stand and they present some like cadavers of very strange creatures, and it's like the person there like opens them, begins to skin them, and it's like, oh yes, this is excellent, good, yes, and then pulls out like a couple of wrapped up like rations, some like gear, and like provides them over. It's very more of a barter system. The coins you were given were like, when Todd saw them, was like, these are special, these are rare. No.
Actual payment in this economy?
Yeah.
And
Are
so
people-
like
Sorry.
the coinage, so like the other coinage,
Mhm.
is it like, is it different? Is it like something that we're used to, or like do they look very
give me a
different,
perception
like
check.
unique?
Give me a perception check. You are hard pressed to think of what you're used to. You can't
Yeah,
properly
remember.
down,
Yeah.
like
Wait, isn't my perception high? Yes, it
Believe it
is.
was.
That is also a 15.
a 15. You see various coins, like not many, but the few that you see are clearly different. Like a coin, you'd see a coin that's like has a little sort of like an X hollowed out in its middle, and then you'll see another that looks more of like a kind of diamond-shaped square of a coin. You
Very
can clearly
improvised, though.
you can clearly tell that they're probably coins of different nations, possibly
Mhm.
like coins of the nations of who they are, where they are from.
Yeah.
Onslaught, I would be like, if you wanted to speak with Onslaught about this, Onslaught, you would know that you use your clan's coins from your waking world, but your people are not a people that are very wealthy, so there is a very you find it harder to find coin. Usually it's like it depends on the dream. Sometimes like technically you attribute it to like Ankam blessing you this day and giving you a wealthier bounty to start off however long the adventure will take until you wake up again. And it is very like that. It's kind of you find what you have when you start, and then you hope to find more, and then when you wake up, you bid it farewell. And that's
With a
usually-
single tear
Nathan-
down his
Nathan-
cheek, like,
yeah.
Nathan is very appreciative of the fact it's like, nice, there's no like conversion fees.
No, there doesn't seem to be done. However, something that is new to Onslaught, and something that like I guess in this sentiment of like, when I wake up, I do lose all my coin. A bank has just opened up. And you're not sure what that like entails, but like, I guess it's like, is that maybe something? Is that maybe like what's happening now? They've like set up something where I don't lose all my coin if I wake up. You don't know. But yeah,
Yes, but,
the
DM.
Dreaming City will be
yes,
here.
but then what about the fees?
What about
like-
the fees? You don't know. You don't know how interest rates work. You have to ask.
DM, have we seen people eat here?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. No, you were at the tavern. Like
Oh, yeah,
it
fair,
was.
fair,
It
fair.
was a full celebration. Food was brought to you. There were people
But
eating.
do we feel hungry?
Not fully. You crave rather than hunger. Like when food is near, you
So it's
see
like
it.
taste and smell rather than actual hunger.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I would say
So,
you
what
have
feels
a
worse?
you have a different experience also than everyone else. I will mention
Yeah,
due to
fair
other
enough.
due to other reasons. But to the rest of you, the general vibe is like your stomachs don't growl, but you, when you are strained or weakened, having food feels comfortable. It feels nourishing. But yeah, you don't pick up on like that sense.
Yep.
Kind of.
Okay. Interesting.
But no, food can be had. Food and drink has been had by them. Yeah, alright. You move to the Forge Mistress to the blacksmith.
Yes. On the way there, have I seen you like I don't know, just like a Monty, like an like open stalls
There are
along the
lots.
way.
There are so many.
I'm just keeping an eye out for like just random weird creepy things.
I'd say the one you notice the most is the stall you saved the day before, which has a lot of bits and bobs. It's like there's a lot of like various little things. It's like the stall is very full of stuff, and now it's like been set up a little bit more than like it was being opened up the day before, and now he seems to have settled it up. And it's like, and people are coming through and like noting a couple of like necklaces, little bracelets, and they seem to head off, give him something, and head off.
And they're with symbols.
It seems to be a lot of very like religious icons. Yeah, there are a couple of like bits of jewelry. There are some that look like they might be more like bracers, little patches of armor, not necessarily a full piece, but
Like
kind of like a
to
shoulder
fix up
blade,
stuff.
like a shoulder plate piece. Yeah, and it's like, and they have iconography on it. Some of them have like little scripture, and they seem to have like little bits of text. Some small like blessing or prayer or a bit of a story from one of the many legends. Nothing that shines to you. Nothing that looks arcane and powerful.
Yep.
But they seem to have some level of sentimental value, and in on itself, that holds some power in the Dreamlands. You can pick up like a faint level, but that's as much.
What I will do is I'd like to go up to him
Okay.
and
Oh.
whoever the stall owner is.
Hello, yes. I cannot thank you enough for what you did yesterday. I've been able to set up. Is there anything that might interest you?
Oh, well, I was actually looking for bracelets for my children here.
Oh,
Do you have anything with the symbol of Nihaik, please?
of Nihaik or
Wait,
of
One second.
Haik?
I'm looking for my notes. Looking for my notes. Haik, please.
Yes, of course. For you, this is on the house. I think I have some. And he like lays down a little bit and like starts rummaging under the stall. Yes, I have 3 that are a set. These are well, they're bone bracelets. I think that would be.
I like bones.
Yeah, and he gives the 3 of them to you. These are on the house for all that you and your friends did yesterday. It is but the
Appreciate
start
it.
of my
Thank you very
appreciation.
much.
Yes,
You're such a
yes.
kind young man. I hope
Well,
nothing ever befalls you negatively. Have a good
thank
day.
you. Thank
Goodbye.
you. Bye. Bye. It's very like, okay, it's like,
Is this a threat or a?
no, he's more like your speed is more what confuses him rather than the other. But like he seems he's okay. Yeah. Well,
I walk to the group. Hi guys, I noticed that you don't have many symbols on you, so I was hoping to gift you all a little item from Haik, just to make you feel close at home. So here's one for each of you. Please enjoy.
Okay. And yeah, each of you are handed this very. It's a
I thought
very.
it was for the skeletons, not for us.
I'm looking at the others like.
They were originally for my children.
That's what I thought as well.
She only gave me 3, so it's only fitting to give 3, one to each of you.
You are handed by Zenkila these little
But
like.
for remember your character's name, Russell?
Sir Onslaught.
Oh yeah. For Sir Slot, she'll actually go around and put it on him.
Oh.
Make sure it's nice and
Okay,
make sure it's
okay.
okay.
Up close and personal.
Wow, it really matches
Well,
your
thank you,
skin
Zenkila.
tone, man.
I appreciate greatly your gift.
Careful
I would
of this
never
one and
dare
that
to.
sexual harassment.
Yes.
Um,
You're very strong.
You.
Okay.
So, Ostra and Selene, you have it in your hands, so you can see it, and it is more. It is very like a bead bracelet, but the beads are like hollowed bones, and in the center there is a larger bone that has the symbol of Haik on it. This, I believe, it was a flowing cup, but I'm going to confirm if that is the case. Where are my
Incredible
notes?
craftsmanship, I would say.
It is very well made. Clearly, they also feel very old, but pristine. Like they're not dusty, but they are old. Hi. The symbol. Yes, it is the symbol of a chalice overflowing. And Zenkila would know specifically the vibe is overflowing with blood, but in the image it is just simply liquid. Yeah.
Selene will affix it to his quiver.
Okay. Nice.
Oh, how sweet.
Interesting.
Quite
We'll
interesting.
hold
craft.
on to it for now and think about where to put it.
Okay. Yeah, you hold on to it. It's in your grasp. Yeah, and you surround slot. It's like it's not the comfiest having it around your
I
neck.
have a thick neck.
I like to see that. It's like a choker necklace right now.
Basically. But
Damn.
yeah.
You look so cute, Sir Onslaught.
I will say, Onslaught, there is a
Mhm.
Zenkila placing it on you, and like as they let go, and kind of it settles on your neck. There is an energy there that wasn't there before. It's very faint, it's very minor, but it's just, you feel invigorated.
Oh. Well, as expected from the famed Zenkila. A gift.
Of course, I treat all my favorite people with gifts.
I do thank you. I do thank you,
Aw.
and I will. I suppose. I'll take your hand.
Oh.
And,
Oh, what a gentleman!
Oh, how cold is the hand?
It's
It
freezing
is-
cold.
You have touched a corpse. That is what it feels
It's-
like.
Just paper, literally paper, cold paper.
It feels like if you are not careful, this hand will break.
Ooh, well, I suppose we have urgent matters to attend.
Yes, and
Please, let's go.
and you all continue to move
you-
along.
After you, Zenkila.
Oh, what a knightly gent! Of course, your name is Sir Lancelot. Wow, what a knight in shining armor. Okay, let's go, children. Come on.
And they
Go ahead.
follow.
I'm so confused.
Question: Are the skeletons offended that we got
No,
the gift and they
Not even slightly.
Aren't the skeletons just kind of like just unfazed by anything?
Oh, yeah,
No,
they're a skull. Like, there's no emotion. It's just
there is some level of like
Oh, well,
appreciation of their summoner,
Okay.
of their undead commander, but they respect
Okay.
what they do. It's like they weren't slighted by anyone else.
Okay.
Yeah. But they follow, and you follow all along as you make your way to the blacksmith, the forge mistress. And indeed, she is there. She seems to be wiping off her brow, and seems to have. They're already. Yeah. So, just to reconfirm, so we had Osra had given specifically her glaive. Selene, you had simply asked for like a bow. Like you hadn't given a bow, you just asked for like a foundation of a bow, right? Or did you give?
Because I had said that I have no like emotional connection to the bow, so if they want to take the bow, they can have it. Otherwise, they can just give me a new one.
Okay,
So-
but you had given up your bow, like you had given them your physical.
If they would, if I don't recall exactly, but had they requested it, I would have been like, yeah,
It wasn't mandatory. It wasn't mandatory. So, alright. So
like,
it would
if
have
they
been,
needed it, it was
then
provided.
it would have been a new bow. They would have made you a new bow. And I believe Zenkila, you wanted a staff, or was that?
I would like to instead. Can I give them the enduring spell book? Well, I guess it's my spell book, but I don't know if there's a way, because I know that this is some kind of weapon, and the spell book isn't technically a weapon.
Yes.
So I don't know how this will work
So
technically.
the issue with the spellbook was that she wasn't. She does not have the skill set to
Okay.
make the spellbook as a base. Like you would need someone else potentially who is more like.
Okay, so
understands
in that case,
making a book.
a staff would be
What
okay
she
as well.
had what she had mentioned is that when you're in the forge, you may use your spellbook while forging your stuff.
Yeah,
And
okay.
you may use that in however moment
The thing
you
is that
feel appropriate.
the staff is a bit weird because she uses two hands to cast. So
No, I
It's a
mean, you can have it can be as much as a focus as well. It can be like
okay,
a wand.
I prefer a focus.
You
prefer a
could
focus.
use the one that you already
The
have the
lightning.
lightning on.
I'm gonna use the lightning bark. Yeah.
Then okay,
I like
then you
that.
would have given her the wand.
like that.
Yeah, she would have reforged that basically to have it ready. Okay, nice. Just to confirm, Sir Onslaught, you had the option if you wanted to have a weapon made. I forget if you had specifically said like no. I don't want this, but the forge is able to do 4 weapons at a time when it is utilized. So there are 3 right now, a 4th.
I would have said no in the moment,
Mm-hmm.
and kept on pondering whether Sir Onslaught would be worthy of such a gift, if he should be content simply guiding the people. So he would not have gone forward, but the thought would still persist in his mind, at the back of his mind, thinking, what if, and I'd say.
You could have gone back like at some point
Ooh.
if you wanted to,
And
so
how?
that we retcon it a
What's
little
the
bit.
benefit of because I can do this there, right? I can, if need be, I can offer my weapon there, right?
So she makes
It
the
prepares them,
base
Mhm.
so that they are more receptive to what is about to happen
That's
in the
true.
forge. That was why.
That's true.
Like you can, she
Okay,
can
I-
make you a base. She can make you like a base of a weapon. You didn't have to give her anything. She can make you a base, and then you use your weapon there if you have like something you are sentimentally attached to, or it has already properties and benefits on it. Yeah, but it could have easily.
I would have
been
gone afterwards, I suppose,
Yeah.
even after the fight, and I will, yeah, I would visit Lady Calvin. I would say, there's this nagging feeling. I feel as though I should offer my glaive to you to prepare it as a base for in the event of anything happening. I don't know if it's coming from my selfishness.
Onslaught. Onslaught. You are the least selfish person I know. I think no one has earned it more than you, should you wish to have this weapon forged. I think Ankam would understand, and I think she would trust you to have such a weapon. I certainly would.
Very well. Very well. Here's to, I suppose, grasping the threads of whatever fate or destiny there is. And he offers it cheaply.
She takes it.
And
Destiny is what we make it. Act, and it shall forge around you. That is what we believe in, no? And she grips your shoulder and gives it a
That
tight
is true.
squeeze.
that is true.
It is always good to act on what is right. And she takes it, swings it a bit, gives it like a nice motion, clearly like herself very proficient with weapons, and she puts it along the rest that she has already like, you found her like already beginning to work. She would have probably started with the quiver since she is making one from scratch. And she puts it alongside the glaive, the other glaive that has already been given, and the wand. And yes, they're all there.
I would suppose ask, what if an armor is introduced in this? I'm just curious as well.
Anything can be provided to the forge. It will do its best to provide what is necessary. It has a will of its own, and normally, were I there, I would be able to guide it with the specific requests of those who wish the weapon forged. Sadly, I cannot journey there myself, so it will be more your combined wills that will forge what you seek. You may try. You may try to
So I
provide
was.
armor or any other type of enchantment, and it will do its best.
I don't know if it's too difficult to ask. I do feel as though my role within for these the adventurers would be more of a protector role. Dare I perhaps give you my armor instead of this glaive to prepare it as a base?
I think it is possible. The way in which you would benefit would be... It would
That's
be
what
different.
I was worried about.
It
Yes.
would be different, but I don't think it is... It would still be useful. Weapons are more... well,
Direct,
what I
right?
understand, the reason Ankam has requested the use of the forge is because the heroes, these chosen, are going to fight the archspets, and they must fight divine beings.
That's true.
To fight a divine being, you need divine weapons. Otherwise, you will find no purchase on their person. Armor will not provide you that benefit, but perhaps it will be able to do more in more of a defensive role. I have never seen it before used, but we live in the land of dreams.
You know what? You may have heard that we got into a fight.
I did hear.
Today.
I did.
Word travels fast, and I can never wield a glaive like Ostra can. I can never wield magic like Zenkilla can. And Nathan, can you remind me your name?
Dylan.
Len.
Selen. And I will obviously never have the marksmanship of Selen. But what I can provide is protection, protecting them and defending them while they pursue their destiny. So, yes, and I start to doff my armor.
You do
and
so.
I give her.
If you allow her, she will help you.
Yeah. I would appreciate
10 minutes later.
Yeah, true.
that. Yeah, that's true.
I
And then I would leave her with the armor. I would take the glaive, and that would be the night before. So
Yes,
now
yes,
we will
exactly.
be returning. Yes, beautiful.
Yes,
Okay, perfect.
Okay,
Okay, that's
let
good. That's
me
interesting.
burn this person. The things. Well, Ty, she helps you out of your armor. Good. And as we come back to the present moment, you arrive, and she has indeed. Actually, I would say she is just about finished with your armor, as that would have taken a bit longer than most. But yes, it is done. She wipes the sweat off her brow. Ah, just in time. Your relics to be are ready.
Oh,
They are
thank you.
they are wrapped at this moment. They are actually like they have been wrapped. You may unwrap them if they become necessary in the moment, but it helps to preserve the runes the longer they are left there. So I kept them in that way. I understand you would want to wear the armor, Sir Onslaught, so I unfortunately cannot give it the same treatment, but it is more of a optional step that I try to participate in when I can, but it should be fine. Honestly, I think it is perhaps safer with armor. The runes are embedded a lot more deeper. Typically, weapons are fine, and I cannot find as much purchase. Armor, there is a lot more room. So yes, and you are given back your items. Right now, they have no fundamental changes. If you wish to use them, you may. Selene, from your perspective, it is just because she made it. It is a +1 bow. It is not technically it is still magical, but it's like it is simply because of her skill in crafting that it is a refined +1 item. And then the rest, the one that already has an enchantment on it, so +1
Yep.
and +1 are the same. I believe
I have a +1,
Ostra,
yeah.
you also have already a +1 on your weapon, but I can't remember if that's the case. But in any case,
Yes,
it is
I think I did.
it is a packed weapon, so she could not quite add to it more than. But if you take the time to look at the weapons, if you unravel them and open, you can clearly tell there are like hollowed runes. Like the rune isn't there, but the space for a rune is there. And there are 8 runes etched along the various items that you have been given. And they are all very meticulously placed, very symmetrical in their shape and form. Obviously in the various ways.
Just having the lightning bark on me,
Mhm.
does that count? So can I still use that as the can I still use the +1, or will that affect the quality?
No. It's still no. You can use
Okay,
them.
okay,
You can use them.
okay.
Yep. You have been given the items. Calva will continue to say, so to give you a bit more context on what you should expect, like I said, you have the box with the keys, and she remembers having given them to Ostra.
So any information I should write down about my glaive?
No. For now, no. For now, the weapons are the same. Selene's was a new weapon, so
I will attach the bracelet to my glaive.
Okay. The Haix bracelet has been attached. For now that is there. So she will just explain. Like I said, the forge has a will of its own. It has 4 main sections, 4 main rooms that you may apply your will upon. There is the Forge of Foresight, the Forge of Brutality, the Forge of Power, the Forge of Attachment, Forge of Fortitude, Forge of Vitality, Forge of Blessing, and
So-
Forge of Sacrifice. You don't need to write all of these down.
Okay,
This is giving
okay.
context.
I'm still at Forge of Foresight.
If you want to write them
But-
down,
yes, okay,
if
good.
you want to write them down, you can, and I will repeat them. But this isn't something you have to remember. It will be clear.
But you said there are 4 main sections.
There are 4 main sections. There are 2 forges in each room.
I see. Okay.
When you are in the rooms, there might be resources left behind there. Anything you have can also be contributed to the given forge, and it will take from what you give and use its will and apply it to the weapons that you have.
And can each forge be used once or?
The forge will be used once, but it will forge. It will take
everyone.
4
Gotcha.
fundamentals, which
Okay.
in itself, it is up to you how you want to go about this. Normally when the forge was used, it would be used as 4 weapons for a squadron, typically for a entourage that tends to be aligned on their principles and values and what they desire. I don't know if you operate under this dynamic, but understand that what one of you provides to a forge, it will be provided to all 4 of your weapons.
Ooh.
That might be to your benefit, but sometimes it has been known to be to one's detriment should one affect conflict with the other. Should that be the case? It is rare, but it has happened. It is more a principle issue. I remember there was a time when I had a entourage of sorcerers and they were complaining about the fact that his element would have cold on it and he was a fire mage and having cold effects on the thing would ruin the aesthetic, and had to smack him over the head once or twice in order to get him to shut up. If you have no qualms of this matter, then you should be fine. Yes.
When you say what we offer, what is that?
So,
Are you offering items?
you may offer anything on your possession. Should you have already relics or items of power, items of sentiment, memories, these may all be given to the forge. There are things you may find in the forge that are left behind there that you may use. There are still potentially relics and items that we could not take with us when everything came crashing down. So there might be things there that you may find. You may give things of yourselves. It is the nature of the forge that it will take what it can. Especially the last room, the 4th room of blessing and sacrifice. That tends to take something of yourselves. You may give items into it, but typically I have used the Forge of Sacrifice once myself, and for that I gave my memories. But
Ooh.
it is simply for you to determine whether it is something you wish to do. I will tell you from now that it is probably heavily defended. I remember the attack was great. There were various creatures, warped, corrupted people of Ankam's domain that had attacked us. And they probably still reside there, or at least some versions of them might still be roaming in the forge. So
Do you remember what they look like? Or what they are?
mostly warriors, soldiers, and people, gladiators, but they were
Alive.
warped. Their faces,
That does seem to be quite on brand for Ankam.
yes, they were people of her domain. They were
Alive. So not undead is my question.
Well, they might. Maybe some might be undead, but
How dare they steal my stick?
well, there were warriors, undead warriors of great renown who manifested themselves as undead.
I look forward to meeting them.
Sadly, I think the ones you will find there have been corrupted by well, an acceptance of defeat. They
You see the ostrich eyes roll back into her skull so far back. You get concerned that they might get
Okay.
better.
yes,
And
sadly,
a lightning bolt to the face won't heal.
the arch spell, the Arbiter, has warped the domain and its denizens, those who remain.
Remind
there
me,
for
what?
too long.
Who is the
So-
domain of?
So this is Ankam's domain.
Ankam is
Ankam is the warrior god,
no.
like
Okay.
a very retribution and like acting and vengeance and justice and these are this
And
and
also my patron deity.
and also yeah, Ostrez currently ward.
What's the
of-
opposite of Ankam? So who
So
has the
Ankam
forge right now?
is Kasal, is the waking god, the
okay.
mistress of acceptance, and they are represented by the Arbiter, being the arch spell.
And
that
they
is
that bitch.
Okay.
She mentions they wore masks that hid their faces, but it seemed to have fused into them. It was not. It was.
We saw something like that. No, we saw a mask somewhere. Or am I
Ostra saw a
imagining
mask.
it?
Ostra saw.
Ah,
it.
yes, that's.
Yeah.
Ah,
I don't
yes,
know if
that's-
Ostra has
that's
mentioned that to the rest of the.
No,
I
no.
didn't-
another-
I didn't talk about it up to now, but now
Okay.
that the topic comes up, I share what more or less happened in my dream,
Okay.
and I'm like,
So you want to share this with Calva being there as well?
I mean, she's one of
Ah.
them counts as well.
I'm asking.
If anyone can understand my frustration, it's
I'm just confirming. Okay.
yes, acceptance, especially when it's forced upon you and fused with your being.
Yes. Yes. I see you've then met some of their entourage, their people.
Oh, yes, I did. They bother me when I was trying to sleep, which makes me slightly miffed.
I don't like the fact that they were able to do so in the city.
At this point, I don't. At this point, I am. Let's just say that I do not excessively fear this sort of happenstances, because they seem to be very keen on dragging me on their side, rather than outright smiting me with their
Well,
entire divine strength. So,
Well, you are safe here from divine retribution, but apparently those who work for them, worship them, are still denizens of the Dreamlands and therefore are still allowed entry. The whole point of the city is to welcome. Sadly, the rules that we followed are not being respected, and they are being
Yeah, we
abused.
noticed.
Perhaps it is our folly of believing that,
We could coexist,
yes.
right?
Well, the waking gods were not supposed to exist here. That was the whole point. They rule the waking world, and the sleeping gods rule here. The times are changing, and the rules are changing. And I don't like it, but we are going to have to learn to adapt. Anyway, yes, be wary of the Mistress of Acceptance. Do not fall to whatever
I will not.
they might offer. They might offer things that you desire most.
We already tried. Peace and tranquility is such a pretty thing, but it's not for people like me. There will always be need for a soldier to fight the battles that others can't fight. That is why I can't.
And there will always be bodies to
be
pick
loud.
up on the battlefield.
That is why I can't let myself be lulled into a false sense of acceptance. That particular mistress seemed to promulgate.
That is noble, and it is true. I understand well what you mean. Our role in life sometimes must be held on to, regardless of whether we wish it or not. Well, I wish you good luck. Be wary. I cannot do more. I am restricted here for reasons that I will not get into right now, but I trust that you will use the forge well.
I looked at Selen like, Selen, you have the map ready? You know where to go?
It's all
The
up in
GPS
here.
working?
It's all up in here. So then you feel
You're
like
muted. You're muted.
Lynn says, like, nods and says, I will.
Yes. Right.
Nice.
So, unless there is anything else that you wish to do, you may
I don't
proceed.
believe so.
So, Dylan, you begin seeking out this name, the Forge of Promise. You know that you seek the domain of Ankam, and as domains go, the strongest and loudest are those of the gods. It is clear in your mind the space where it is. It becomes clearer and clearer as the path narrows further until the Forge of Promise is at the end of the destination. You feel you are ready. You begin to lead your group towards one of the infinite exits to the City of Dreams. And a path begins to manifest, and you may all begin to follow it. You begin to traverse, as often is the case. Seasons begin to change. The ambient around you fluctuates. Trees grow out of nothing, crumble to dust. Lands decay and grow. Spring turns to summer, turns to autumn. Mountains erupt. Volcanoes explode and turn back to peaceful grasslands and flower beds. And then eventually the environment shifts to sand and becomes more stable. And you begin to see like patches of dunes. You see distant cities made of sandstone and marble off in one area. You see like structures, monoliths and spires across in another direction, but you are following the path towards the forge. And eventually it begins to form, and it is a sand-covered hill, and there is a simple metal door in its face, in its front, with the symbol of Ankam, and two like hammer and anvils on either side, as you are now at the entrance of the Forge of Promise.
Any guard at the front?
I'm
Right
sticking to Silen throughout all this ordeal even more closely. I'm.
Okay. Yep. It is. That
Travel.
was.
How long does it take?
It is.
Oh yes.
It is strange. The feeling is always this like. It could have been seconds. it might have been centuries. The like the environment around you seemed like
Yeah.
entire landscapes changed massively. But you don't feel time has passed for you. Might have been anywhere from like 20-30 minutes, like reasonably, as you just walked. But
Okay.
yeah. Yes, there are no current individuals on the outside.
That's true. Yes.
It seems awfully quiet.
I will
I
pop
take the lead.
a mage armor just.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
wise. That's
anything?
wise.
All right.
Len will also would like to kind of like is round the doorway.
Perfect. All right.
I will cast aid, I suppose. I say as
Okay.
we're heading in.
Nice.
I just wanted to make
Hey.
sure that I
Nice.
bolster everyone's defenses.
Nice.
So get around, and I take a tiny strip of white cloth. I will, as everyone, I gesture so everyone puts their hand in the middle. I put the cloth around each individual, and everyone gets 5 max, an increase of 5 to their maximum hit points
Nice.
for 8 hours. This one.
Yeah, you'll have the
Nice.
day for reasonably.
Exactly. So basically, ideally the day.
Yeah.
So everyone gets +5. Yes.
Nice. All right.
And I will look at Austra. I will say, what do you say? You and I take the lead.
Yep, let's go.
Perfect.
You Ostra, in fact, feel not. It is not uncomfortable, but there is warmth building from where the keys to the forge are. The little box. You feel like where you are keeping it on your person, it begins to like warm up as you approach the forge. Nice. So, anything else, or everyone is moving?
Moment.
Yep.
Write it down.
18 on the perception check. Or
Okay. For some reason, things are slowing down. I'm not sure if it's my end. Maybe Discord is being a bit finicky.
What happened?
No, because Selen was freezing up, and I think it was mine, because I think I saw even Adam like freeze up a little bit. So
Even from my end, I think I'm.
I think it might be Discord now because mine keeps crashing, like
Okay.
slowly crashing, then comes back.
okay.
Oh,
Alright,
I'm glad
Mela.
that it's not me only.
No.
What did you just tell me right now? I fucking forgot.
What did I just tell you right now?
There was something I had to write down and I forgot.
You did major armor. I don't know.
Aid.
Oh yes, the
Oh,
eight,
8. Oh,
Eight.
that.
Just to take note of my HP.
Yes. You have a +5
Yes.
max HP.
Yep.
Selen, so you rolled the perception check.
yes, please.
You got an 18.
Yes.
So, I'll say, with an 18, So there is nothing on the outside. You don't feel there are any eyes, like, presently keeping watch on the outer entrance. You do note that there is some indication of movement having happened recently, of something entering the forge.
Any? Is it like footsteps, or is it just like kind of like a trail?
It's more of a trail.
Large. Okay.
Large and singular.
And I, as my ranger thing, I am skilled in tracking down humanoids. Does this seem humanoid or no?
So, I will say, you think it is enough that whatever it is, it might have been humanoid, but it is no longer.
I relay the information.
Yes. So that is.
I would have offered Dusk so that Zinkela can ride on Dusk. don't know you.
You want
Who's
to?
who's Dusk?
Dusk is my warhorse.
Yeah.
Ah,
You had ridden it before, or should I have ridden
wow.
it? I'm not sure.
I rolled it.
I would be like, oh, thank you. Lend me a hand, will you, gentlemen?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Lovely. Dusk is there. You ride atop this warhorse. Comfortable, very welcoming. It knows.
Warm-blooded.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a bit of distaste when she. It's warm. It's okay.
Not on that skeleton horse, I'm sorry.
Not yet.
So, you begin to move. Ostre and Sir Onslaught are side by side taking the lead, and then I assume Zenkelau is.
I'll
set
send
behind.
Justus, my snake, with them.
Okay. The snake is moving along.
It goes around Sir Onslaught's
Okay. Yeah.
right bicep. It's just.
Okay.
I suppose.
But when you look at the snake, like its fangs are dripping with just this ichor of that does not look very healthy for you.
Oh, a warhorse for a snake, I suppose.
Fair deal.
Fair enough.
As you continue to move forward, and as it is basically, it's mostly, it doesn't look like it's built. Like, it feels it's just a hill in a sandy desert, and the entrance has been built into it. But as you begin to move towards the door, you realize that it is actually, there are steps under the sand,
Ooh.
and you begin to slowly take steps downwards as the door also, wind begins to pick up and clears out some of the sand, revealing the marble steps under it. And as you are halfway down these stairs, the symbol atop the entrance begins to glow. You feel the chest, the little wooden chest on your person, Ostra, now begin to be almost that level of like uncomfortably hot. And the door begins to open. It makes a loud resounding noise as it the metal begins to part open. And this very intense wind like wafts out from it. And it feels, Selene would be able to note this most, it does not feel like it is a physical space. You are walking into another plane, realistically, as you enter through the spot. Yeah.
Onwards, I suppose.
Ostre, you at this point feel you need to take out the chest. Like, you have to do something with the chest because it is becoming uncomfortable.
I take
I mean,
it out.
the keys, I imagine.
You pull it out. It immediately flips open, even though it was locked. It flips open, and these 8 small runes float up, and one of them, and then another, on either end, begin to vibrate and glow. The others fall down into the little chest, and the 2 of them shoot inwards.
Do
Do you end? Do you follow?
Yeah, it's like,
yeah.
I believe we should follow.
Where
Are we
did they
leaving the
go?
horses? Are we leaving the horses outside?
No,
It looks like
Dust.
the entrance looks massive. You feel it's like
Yeah.
reasonably the door would be about 30 feet wide and
Okay.
about 50 feet high. Like after taking the stairs down.
Yeah,
It is a
I'll
massive
stay on
building.
horseback.
Should you rather stay on solid ground?
Yeah.
Feel free. You are
No.
completely in control of Dusk.
I'm on horseback and skeletons on the side and zombie in front.
Nice. You begin to move as you feel the energy change. It wasn't as uncomfortable, like it wasn't desert hot outside, but it was very warm. The temperature was very warm, but as you move in, it becomes more of a room temperature cool. But the adrenaline kicking in as you see these two runes are just flying through the corridors.
We should hurry, perhaps.
Yeah.
We already lost
You-
2 of the runes. I
You
said-
you are keeping pace with them. Should you wish.
Okay, good.
No, these are
Liam.
the same two.
We are running after him.
Yeah.
One thing for the check. When I bought the skeletons from his name is
Yeah.
Salvo, I think.
Yeah.
Has he given me the short bow for the skeletons or no? Or just swords?
I believe so. You copied a bunch of spells. I believe yes, he gave you the full weapon entourage. Fine. Now, you begin to move through the Forge of Runes, following these runes. Like, as soon as you pick up the pace, you keep up with them. They are not hurtling at, like, ungodly speed. So, you are keeping up with them. I would like everyone, though, to give me a perception check. Clifford, no, just a perception check.
Okay.
Not good.
Oh, wow. 18 from my end. Plus nothing.
Okay.
That's a natural 20 plus 9.
Hey, nice.
Oh my god.
That's a 9.
Okay. Ostre,
What was it?
perception check.
Can I roll for my snake?
I'd say you can basically. I'll let you take a help action. Like.
Okay.
You technically give the help action to Onslaught, but Onslaught rolled well, so take the advantage.
Thank you. That's 24.
That's a lot better. Time.
Era Tapintian. 13.
13. Okay. 13
I
being.
reached my plus 25 something.
That's Pathfinder rules. So, you begin to move through the forge. And at first, you are like just trying to focus on the runes and making sure not to lose them. You slowly begin to like acclimate. You've gotten like the pace down, so you begin to look around you more. The initial thing that you notice is that it is a worked corridor, like worked stone, very intricately designed. There are columns that are holding things in place. It is a wide corridor with a very high ceiling. It's like you look up and it's like reasonably about 40 feet high. And about like 25 feet wide. There is space here. You begin to see some signs of battle as you run through the corridors. You can see there are bodies, very like skeletal body. Well, no, actually, no. They would be fully preserved in this space. There are bodies of various races, clearly like in different armor, and different weapons are like laid down in the ground, and like they have clearly like fallen in battle and have been left there. And then, since you all meet at the DC Dana, you are not bamboozled by a sudden sound of metal as you are following through the runes, and like Ostra would be the least one to like pick it up, but you see everyone else suddenly make a dexterity saving throw.
Everyone.
Everyone, yes. As like Ostra is the last, like Dana, you were, and then you see everyone else like leap, and you're like, oh shit, and you.
20 total.
Okay, nice.
Do I need the one for my skeletons and shit?
Yes, we can't hear you, Russell, but Russell does give you a bonus charisma.
Yes, you get +3.
You get +3.
Nice.
Thank you. Okay.
12.
15.
15. 12 with the +3 from. Okay.
That's
Select-
like.
How much?
29.
29. Jesus
Jesus.
Christ.
Do I roll
Um,
for my children or no?
sure, give me one roll. Just one roll for all.
Jesus Christ.
Since you rolled,
what was
Good for war
if
horses, man.
you had, Anna, like, I'll be very generous. If you had succeeded, I would have been like, no. But since you do fail, so I'd like them to maybe have a chance
Yeah.
to succeed.
Do I add the
Horse
plus
got a
3?
14.
Yes, you do get to add plus
Yes. Anyone who's within 10 feet of me
3. You all are within
can
the space.
get a plus
You
3.
all are.
And we are huddled.
Yeah.
13.
Okay, no, still not enough. Okay. You said 15, right? For Sir Lancelot?
Yes, and 14 for Horsey.
Oh, so Horsey fades. But Sir Lancelot
Yes.
just.
Oh, wow! Oh,
15 was the
yep,
DC.
yep, fair enough.
So, you basically are following these routes. You are running through these bodies, and what you don't, like, initially you don't notice, and then, like, Selene would be immediately the first to, like, notice it. Where the bodies are, it's like, yes, they've fallen in battle, but also, one of them has, like, an entire hole jutting through its torso. And then, as you move, spikes just launch upwards, and you're the first to immediately leap, everyone following after you. So, with a 29, all those who succeeded will take no damage from this.
Oh, nice. Phew.
Would there be any? Nah, never mind.
Okay. The rest will take.
300 points.
No, I just rolled really. I thought I'd roll really bad on 3d6, but I didn't. 13 points of damage.
Jesus Christ.
So who failed takes damage.
Yes, this is success is no damage. Failed is damage.
My skeletons are all almost dead.
Oof.
Yep, so is Horsey.
Yeah.
Great.
Well,
Lovely start.
the aid can't be targeted towards all the skeletons as well. It can only hit so many people.
Horsey could have benefited from aid, right?
I don't know how many. Aid is 3 people.
Aid is, let me tell you, I think it's 8 creatures. Oh, no. Oh, never mind. So I won't have aid.
Yeah, that's kind of. I assumed. I knew that. I was like, you know what? I don't know. It's okay.
No, I don't have aid.
But then I was
I-
like, skeletons are like, they definitely can't. Okay. Yeah. You leap past this pit of spikes. Yeah. Most of you evaded this trap, but the rest have taken a bit of a scrape. But you continue, like you take a moment to breathe, but the runes are moving, and it's like, again, it's like you will be able to catch up with them because like as soon as you take a double move, you are going faster than they are. But like in that moment, yeah, now you are more on alert that apparently some traps have been set up.
There.
If it helps, I have my passive investigation is 18.
Okay, fair enough.
That helps maybe
My
the safety traps or
perception is
something like
also 19.
Yeah, no, fair enough. At that moment, it was more so like you were running.
Yeah.
I wanted it to be an active check. At this point,
Yeah.
yeah, we can reasonably use that as a default. So 18 and 19, I assume, are the highest we have in the party.
Yeah, at this
Yeah,
point, I've
yeah.
probably been looking for traps and or items that might look out of place, might be
Yeah.
of interest to us.
Yeah.
How to get eaten by enemy one-on-one.
Maybe.
DM, by any
yes.
chance, does the natural 20 on the perception check give any more insight or not really?
I'll say this, yes, since you rolled a nat 20. You... What would be of note at this point? So you are seeing the bodies have been like through fighting. A trap exists under it. you are noticing, this is, I think, the most that Selene would specifically notice. You are understanding that you are not moving in a linear fashion. It's like, once you turn a corner, it is not... It's between like a moving labyrinth and you are shifting positions in space, kind of vibe. And you are picking that up. You do see some claw marks along corridors that start and then stop abruptly and then start again in other corridors, and you're noticing like, oh, that lines up with that and that lined up with what I saw like 2 corridors ago. But you do see these claw marks and they jump out at you a little bit. They are massive. They're like reasonably... The claw itself is like covering a good like 5 feet of just claw along the wall, kind of level.
Whoa.
It is, whatever the creature is, it is probably huge.
How many surround slots is that?
2.5 surround slots.
Is there any chance that Selene would like do a survival check or something to see if they might know the creature?
I'll say you can, but I'm gonna say this is with disadvantage, just because you are trying to pull from memory, and that is a bit hard.
Yup.
But it is not impossible.
Memory sucks. But that's much worse. Survival. 9.
Okay. I will say this, just keeping like a standard of you guys are proficient individuals. You can't tell what the creature is, but just with both that nat 20 you had from before, you can tell that this creature is not a natural beast.
Does it look like a construct?
Ostra will kind of call, since you're calling it out, I give it to Selene.
Does it look like a bitch?
It is probably like, it looks like the some of the area of the wall is made of metal, and it clearly looks like it was metal on metal, not just
Okay,
like...
so it's like it's a clean cut almost.
Yeah, it's like it is still claw, like it is fingers pulling along the side, but it's not nails. It doesn't look like... It looks like the effect of almost 5 swords being pulled along the side,
Lovely.
kind of vibe. Yeah. So there is that. Yeah, I will say that is what you notice. But you continue to move, and at this point, we will roll a d4.
And I would ask, should we go approach stealthily, or do you think, or is no one perhaps intended for that? I mean,
I don't think me and my children can stealth much.
fair enough. I probably won't be able to. Wait.
Just be
Lot of
ready for
crack-
anything.
A lot of
There was
cracking of
some
bones.
other presence
Yes.
that entered before us. If it is alive, I am unsure. However, and like Selene points at like the claw marks. It's like, there is was something as well.
At this point, as you like are discussing and you're moving, the runes begin to slow down, and eventually you come upon what looks like a door. And the runes fly into these 2 sockets on either side of the door, and the door begins to... It's like its outline begins to glow, and the door melts away. Just... and becomes an open... Yeah, becomes an open entrance. And at this point, what you have visually in front of you is there is a room, clearly a room in front of you. I would say Ostre and Sir Onslaught, you both can... You see writing on the top of the door that Selene and Zinkila do not see. And it says, Forge of Foresight, Forge of Brutality. You see that. there is the room in front of you, and then you're kind of coming in at a T intersection. You're coming in from the front, and then there is a corridor to your left and right. You can clearly see there are like 2 rooms, 2 other like open archways on one side, 1 other room on the other side. But beyond that, it feels like pitch black oblivion mist beyond either of those points. And looking back at you is also the same. Like you see the corridor extend for like maybe 15 feet, and then it is nothing else. Like clearly you should be able to see more corridor, because like there is light in the area. There are like these scions, and there is like this low white light in the area. But clearly this zone is its own space, and if you move beyond this point, you will shift into another section of the forge. So right now you have 3 rooms, 3 adjacent rooms, and then the forge, the first section of the forge.
And
right now
and
it
our
is
goal is to
quiet.
our goal is to place the runes in the forges, right?
Basically, your goal is to use the forges, and then you will reach the heart of the forge, where you will place your weapons, and then everything will combine.
Good. So we need
yeah.
to. So I suppose should we start left?
Yep, let's stick
My-
around
I
for
mean,
some
left
My
is
else.
grandma
always
always
right.
said.
So I hope.
Sorry.
Yes.
What did your grandma always say?
Always go left, but then I suppose Astra said something with right. I don't know.
No.
No, I said left is always right. And then
yes.
and then I
Because you
hummed,
follow your heart.
and then I hummed the Soviet anthem because of course I did.
Goes left. You go left.
Yeah.
Left is
Yeah, left.
1 room. So it is quicker to clear. You move in that direction. It does not have a name on it, unlike the main forge area. But as you peek through, you see there is a bit of a brighter light inside. It seems to be some kind of workshop space. There is an anvil, like a simple anvil. It is a blacksmith workshop. Yeah, I'd say with your passive perception and passive investigation respectively for Zinkel and Selen, you do feel like there is something in the room that is dangerous.
All of
There
it.
is some kind of trap.
Be on alert.
Ooh.
You're
I'm
not
a
sure what it is because you're not seeing something, but I'd say it's like the hairs on the back of your neck are kind of like.
Okay, I will leave. Knowing this, I'll leave my skeletons and zombie at the door.
Mhm.
So like defending the way in,
Very smart.
and I'll stay close to them as well because I am squishy.
I was not told anything, so I will go in.
You begin.
No, I say
Okay, thank you.
there's a good chance. There's a good chance there's something dangerous in here.
Okay.
Oh,
Um,
dangerous.
by the
How?
way,
Yeah.
I don't know, just a feeling.
DM, just as a note,
Yep.
with the natural explorer thing, even while engaged in other activities, I remain alert to danger.
Oh, nice. Even
And
more.
I have a left.
Like in this case, like
Even-
it doesn't matter because like my passive perception is still high, but like
Even more so. Even
just
more
in
so.
case something.
No, you're not. That's more. I think what that's referring to on a mechanical level is being surprised, of like while you're exploring, being caught in a surprise condition, and you ignore it.
Okay. Okay.
But right now,
What I'll do, since I'm next to the door, I will have mage hand, just
Mhm.
like going around and investigating. I guess
okay.
whatever. Like if there's, I don't know. There's shelves, etc.
There's a lot of stuff. There's like a rack with a lot of different tools, hammers, some tongs that are clearly down. There's buckets. You can see there's a bit of like a well, but there's a pipe that is just dripping, just a singular drop of water. Bloop, bloop, bloop. You what other things? It is very like standard. No. You do see there is a pile of like metal scraps, probably like bits of armor and weapons, that are like on one far side of the corner of the room. Yeah, if you start to move your mage hand in, we're gonna say. Okay. So you are aware there is something in the room. Are you moving your mage hand in order to find whatever it is that might be the trap? Or are you looking to trigger it before anyone walks in, kind of, having the mage hand trigger the trap?
I'm mainly looking for an on switch for this forge.
It doesn't seem like it's a forge that requires an on switch.
Okay, it's just okay.
This section is just an anvil, like it is just for like hammering things.
Like a
Okay,
smithy.
then
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
I
just
will
basic
look. I will look for the potential trigger.
Okay. Looking for it. So give me an investigation check. Just to.
It's not bad. It's not bad at all.
Selene will like lean in like
Okay.
to Ostre, be like, Zenkela, be like, I could take a shot at the pile of metal.
Ooh.
Don't know.
Let's see what
Seems
this
suspicious.
finds. Maybe I got a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. With the
The
dirty 20,
20.
the dirtiest of 20s. With the dirty 20,
The dir-
what you
Lucky 20.
what you see as you're kind of like looking, you're like viewing where the mage hand is moving, and then what you realize, like I'd say your instinct was to like check the ground. So the mage hand was following down, like following like the ground and checking for stuff. And then as it reaches the epicenter of the room, you kind of stop. You stop moving the mage hand. You kind of take like a look. And then you suddenly are inspired to look up. And as you look up, you can see on the ceiling there is a glyph.
I don't take too much time here, but if I can I try and use Arcana to understand what the glyph says at least,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
some information?
Yep.
Not so bad. 18.
It's like
18.
glyph of don't even try it.
Yeah, stop right there, boy.
Well, it is a glyph of warding. You understand it to be this.
Okay.
Typically, at the spell, magic would be required. I forget if we were running this game allowing you to do dispel magic or not, because I forgot if I did that rule here. I'm gonna check.
I
didn't
don't
say.
have dispel magic.
I
But did
also
I-
don't have.
As at, I remember dispel magic is allowed in the game, but it has a casting time of 1 minute. You can't cast it like mid battle. That was the rule I put on the spell. Just that it is a reminder. I don't know if you did look at this. It was in the character creation side, but for your context, stuff relating to spells specifically, I had changed True Strike as a bonus action. Guidance is both an action or a reaction. It's like I see something happen, I can use my reaction to cast guidance on the person so that they can get guidance. Dispel magic is a minute, and then it's more about spells that are like augury, contact other plane, and then plane shift and stuff. But those I think are not in play right now.
No.
But those three I felt were a little bit more in your level of like if you wanted to take True Strike, it's a little bit better now because it's a
Yeah,
bonus.
no worries.
Taya. Mel, yes, you'd normally require dispel magic. Otherwise, you could potentially try and trigger it from afar. You're not sure what the glyph.
It's triggered with, yeah.
No, glyph is usually, well, you don't know exactly what it's triggered with, but you can guess that it is either someone gets within a certain amount of distance from it, and your mage hand was like holding to the ground, and since it's a tiny thing, like if a person walked in, they would be,
Yeah.
5 feet and above.
Ceiling is high.
Ceiling is not that high. It's about like 15 feet. So like reasonably, someone walks under it, they'd be 10 feet away. I'd say from this angle you're not sure like what the range is, but typically it's like somewhere within like the.
Yeah, I'll shout out. Well, I'll shout. I'll speak out. I'll be like, guys, be careful of the center.
The center.
Um,
Okay.
Something
Yeah.
very dangerous on the ceiling.
so
Could we trigger it, or should we try to avoid it?
I don't know how big the area would be of effect. So
yeah, you're
for
not
now,
sure
avoid it.
the area. You can try and like squeeze against the walls, but it would make it very hard to like properly investigate the room. But you could
Yes.
investigate the metal pile is investigatable with like while ignoring like moving alongside the corners. And I'd say there is a possibility to investigate, but it's going to be heavily reduced.
I don't know if this helps. As a bugbear, I am surprisingly sneaky. Without needing to squeeze, I can move through and stop in a space large enough for a small creature. It is the sneaky property
Okay.
of bugbears.
Okay.
I suppose because we have long limbs. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if that helps, but I could perhaps shimmy my way along
Yeah,
the
I'm gonna-
side.
Shimmying is fine for everyone. I'd say what you can do if you can basically be on the level of small, I'd say you can pin yourself to the ground and crawl in a way that you would be like at the level that a
Like
mage
level.
hand was being. So it's like you shouldn't trigger it because if the mage hand didn't trigger it, then you shouldn't trigger it. You'd be able
yes.
to investigate a little bit more.
Good.
And I will send my snake with you. Well, I'll send a snake with you to help to give the help action
Perfect.
Okay.
whatever you're looking
Perfect.
for.
Yeah.
I'm mainly looking for, I suppose, in my mind, these iron bits could be perhaps what Calva was referring to as things that can be used. I don't know if that
Possibly.
makes sense, but
Could be.
Maybe
hey.
even the weapons on the other side.
yeah, yes,
Another
yes,
interest.
fair enough.
It is the same. Metal scraps and the armor, they're all like
okay.
one big
Okay,
pile.
good. Okay.
Yeah.
There is like
Those are big-
the tools; those are separate. I don't know if you wanted to check the tools of the
Oh.
smithy.
I will leave the snake with Saronso. Then with my mage hand, I'll go have a little look and see if there's any runes on the tools.
Okay.
Anything
I
that's
have,
you have
Okay.
I
interest.
have an idea. I will cast detect magic as well before starting all
Nice.
this.
Okay.
Okay. Yes.
That
that's-
definitely
Um,
fucking helps.
that is gonna help. In fact, immediately the glyph of warding shines. It is clearly evocation. Whatever is inside it is evocation. You like for Sir Onslaught, you don't understand the niche of like an evocation spell. It's an explodey thing.
Exploded.
It's
exactly,
an energy explodey thing. It's either going to explode in fire, cold, lightning, but it's an explodey thing.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
Perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Good.
you-
And is there anything else
so
that matters right now?
So at this moment, no, but I will allow you to begin to move in,
Yes, I
and
will.
give me an investigation check with advantage because this Nick is helping you.
Listening, yes,
Yes,
of
sure.
course.
And
Oh.
in the meanwhile, Zenkalak may also do another investigation check specifically
Yep.
for looking.
I needed the advantage. I got
Lovely.
17 minus 1, so 16.
Nice. That's good. That's good.
This neck is the best character. in this campaign.
23.
23. Okay, so Mage Hand begins to move along the sides, and meanwhile, Sir Onslaught is doing the Mission Impossible, like moving along the base of the floor. The snake is like moving, pulling your hand in the direction that you need to go, and eventually you get to the pile of metal scraps, and the snake just like kind of dives in and is now slithering in there, like looking for stuff while you look for stuff together.
He was a good boy.
Yeah, the mage hand moves towards the smithy spot, and on the smithy side, you do note that some of the tools, not all, some, do have some kind of magical properties. You can see
Well,
clearly
what
as
I'll
you
do
like
probably-
shift them around.
Well, they'll probably. How far away is Cernslot to this workshop area?
Basically,
was it
the
within
room,
the
the
detective?
room is about 40 feet in all, like
so he
40
can
by
probably
40. It's
see-
pretty big. So, yeah, he's
So Mitch
currently
will
like
probably
occupied like
Yeah.
Mostly focused by the.
Mitch will probably be like lifting it up, letting it see you, and then putting it back down, lifting it up like each item, so you can see if you can ping anything.
For detect magic.
Yeah.
It's a little bit like you're just like on the cusp
Fair enough.
of like the detect magic, but yeah, no, it's more so Zenkilla turns the weapon in the
Ah,
mage
to
hand's
see it.
hand, and you see like oh rune, like you notice.
Anything with the rune is I'm bringing back with me. It's just
You bring back a couple of the tools. Yeah. Anything else there? No. Yeah. No. But you get some tools. For now, you can write +1 Smithy toolkit.
nice.
So there's that. So with a 16 and with detect magic giving you a bit of an extra boost to that total number, you begin to look through the armor. Initially, you find mostly like bits of armor. They look refined and well made, but still relatively mundane. As you're like, you find something, you move it aside. You find something, you move it aside, and then Zenkilla's snake like pokes out from the pile and like nudges something over, and you see a helmet topple, and it topples upside down, and from inside you see a glowing light, and as you kind of like look, and it's odd, it is not being picked up by your detect magic, but clearly there is magic. And you pick that up.
What's
The
the item?
16,
So
it is that. It is a helmet.
helmet.
It is odd because yeah, the detect magic is not working on it.
Interesting.
Perhaps.
Is
Yeah.
it a mimic?
No.
No. Oh, ah! No,
It immediately launches onto your head and starts eating you. No.
Perhaps they have protected this
It
specifically.
what
That means it's more valuable.
you
I can
yes,
have a look at it
yes,
if you like.
yes. If you want, you can slowly backtrack out.
Okay.
With that check, that is what you find.
Nice.
Just for
Um,
context, I think I
yeah,
want
yeah.
to set a standard rule. When detect magic is being used for magic items, I'm adding an extra like +2 on whatever you would normally roll. Like if it's like, you're investigating for a thing, and you have
Yeah,
detect
that's
magic on, it's like you get extra.
Or
bonus.
you can lower the DC, for example, as well.
And it's the same. It's like me
Fair enough,
lower
fair
the
enough, fair
DC,
enough.
me give you an extra boost.
Fair. Okay.
Okay, I got this, but it's interesting. It's not showing up on my detect magic.
If you do,
I'll-
if you
I'll
like
have a
Zengula, you may give an Arcana
Yeah.
check. There's already a lot of insight from your perspective of like what
Yeah.
that would imply. But
It's not great.
it's-
It's a 12.
with a 12, it's enough for you, and with the context, to just be like, this is probably something that hides its magical presence. You're not sure to
Okay.
what extent, you're not sure what its power level is, or what it exactly does as an item, but
Can I get an idea what the School of Magic is, or no?
it would
That's
probably
too
be illusion. Like your
Okay.
guess would be illusion.
That's good. Okay.
Very well, let's proceed to the other room. I suppose there's nothing left here to do.
Doesn't seem like.
Onwards. And I
Yeah.
advanced glaive like 5 feet ahead,
Diagonal,
poking 5 feet
yes.
ahead of me just in
So
case.
you go to the other side of the corridor. There are two rooms, like technically opposite each other. So from this perspective, you do also have a left and a right. If you wish, you may take the left.
Before we choose, what I like to do is I like to have the skeletons with the swords in the entrance of these before these two rooms.
Okay.
So behind us,
Okay.
facing outwards, and the two with the bows facing inwards.
Okay.
So like that, we have both sides,
All right. It is
just
done.
just in case.
To confirm, we also we said that the anvil itself wasn't magical.
No, it didn't seem to be. Zenkilla, like, who gave it a once over from afar. It didn't seem like the anvil itself
I think
was.
the magic would have picked it up as well.
Yeah, that's fine.
I do tell everyone I found these smith tools
Yep.
seem to be magical of some sort.
All right. So
Okay. So left or right?
Left or
Left always
right?
right?
If you wish, you may take a left.
Left.
This
Left.
room seems untrapped, but where are you going? Oh, wait. So you begin to walk, like to look in, not per se walk in, but look in. You don't see anything that like puts you on edge for traps. It is quiet, but as you kind of like lean in, what you're seeing here is more of an armory type situation. It seems like a lot of weapons and armor are missing, but there are some still like scattered around. Some are still like on their respective pedestals and hooks. And there would be a kind of like a desk on one side and then a bunch of like weapons on the other side. And you see that initially. I'd say you're moving pretty expediently, so detect magic is still up for
That's what I was
Sorensen.
gonna
How
ask.
long is the
Um,
fort? That's 10 minutes.
That
10 minutes.
Yeah. Maybe you're still within the
Okay.
for it. But as you like look and move in, you initially start off with like, we should probably look at the ceiling. And you look at the ceiling, and you
The
see
biggest spider, not
you see two like silhouette creatures hanging from the ceiling, but they seem to be quiet and not moving and not reacting to. It is very dark in this particular room. The only light is like it's maybe filling up the first like 10 feet of the room, and then it's like very dark further in. You can just see like there's a desk. We can see like the silhouette of the weapons and stuff, and then like looking up, you just see these two like they look decently large, and they're clearly like the vibe is bat-like, very sleek, like flat wings, no feathers, but it looks more leathery, and fully covered. Like you can't see a face, you can't see the body, just these like big wings covering, and they are hanging from the ceiling.
Do I pick anything with my detect magic?
From this position, you do notice a couple of pings, very minor pings from the weapons, from like weapons that are on Dana. And the more critical thing, there is something in the desk, and it is not on the desk; it is in the desk. It is muted. Like technically, I shouldn't let you know probably because I forget how much like the 3 inches of this, 1 inch
you're
of that, but like there's something in the desk.
It would have had to be 3 feet of wood.
No, it wouldn't be that much. It's just a desk.
So
Allah has put a layer of 3 feet of wood in
Okay,
a desk.
so if Austria and Celine would like to get ready for a possible fight, I can try and maybe get some of the items without causing too much of a fuss with mage
I
hand.
will say these are metal.
Yes, there are
I
some
suppose
things.
knocking
Some
one
things
off
are beyond
over-
the mage hand's capabilities. There's like a great sword. There's some like armor bits.
No, I'm more talking about opening up the drawer and
Okay,
seeing
okay.
something like that.
Desk is.
If
Uh,
you wish.
I mean, at least Zenkila's more interested in something that might be books than swords.
Huh?
If you wish,
Listen.
I can teleport.
Mhm.
Come
Oh.
back.
Ooh.
Distance-wise, we're talking
That's
for
perhaps good
speed, for your contexts. From the entrance to the desk is about like a 25-foot distance, and then if you want to get to weapons, it's more so closer to 30-35.
Yeah.
Sorry, how much is
I
that?
can
20.
I can technically
25.
get a person with me as well.
I am not as stealthy. I am clad in armor. If I may,
Yeah, I can
don't
either
know,
go
perhaps if it's a
help or I
more
can
viable
send
option if
some.
I am
we
decently.
strike first.
I'm decently stealthy if needed.
Yeah, I think
So-
you and Oste should go together. Try and me and Sir, I'll try and get the desk, and Sir Onslow can be there to pounce. If anything seems to shift, I guess.
What about perhaps striking now while we have the advantage before they awaken? These are big creatures, and
You're
perhaps
also a
the
big
element of
creature.
surprise
You're also a
could
big
be
creature.
in our,
Like, you
to
don't
our
see us
favor.
striking you.
I'd love to strike you though.
But
Zenkila,
keep in mind that these
Please.
forges, they need to be. Oh, you lost my train of thought.
How I think wires
Keep in mind that
Sorry, sorry. Continue.
Let him speak. Let him speak.
keep in mind that these forges, they will have to be cleared for Ankam one way or another. We would be doing a good work by clearing it from these creatures that have made it made a residence out of it.
We can.
I
100%.
don't know, but I'd like to make sure that everyone's in on it.
Yeah. Maybe we can. Yeah.
What do you
I think
think,
it's a
Ostra?
good idea. I think it's a good idea.
anyway, it works.
I'm saying maybe we can get a couple of items that might help us, but I guess if they're attunement, it's still. Wait, +1 weapons, are they in?
No.
Do you have to attune? No, right?
No.
It's not okay.
No.
Not
No,
all,
maybe they
not
can-
all
I do
magic
have
items
my
are attunement
glaive.
required, but also
Yeah.
remember, what right now you're also looking into is stuff to feed the forge. Then you will have
Yes,
your
yes.
item, which will
Yes,
probably be
but-
attunement, but
But just for this fight right now with
And
with these
so-
things.
so.
for the forge, feeding the forge, Monday items, do they add any relevance, or is it
I
maybe?
think only if they
worth
hold
enchanted
kind of
items?
importance
That's
to you.
what you think.
I see.
There is an element
It
of
makes sense, makes
sentimental
sense.
value.
Good.
Otherwise, it's more combining existing enchantments together.
Are we attack together?
Good. Yes. Okay. So, Ostra and I will lunge. How?
So they
high up
are 10 feet off. Well, they are about 15 feet off the ground. It is possible, I would say, since you
On the
have ranged
desk.
weapons, to jump
Mhm.
and
I can
attack,
reach them.
like without issue, like without costing you more.
You can stand up on
movements.
the desk as well, I guess. Or
Well, the
uh,
desk is
I
far
have
from
long
where they are.
limbs.
Like the
Ah, I
desk is
see
on
it.
one side and they are in the middle.
Okay.
But no,
I
no,
have
it's
long
easy.
limbs.
Yeah, you have
I
right.
can-
You have 15 foot
Yes.
reach, right?
I have 15.
You can
feet.
stand and attack them with these. Also, I would just need to like leap up a little bit in a strike.
If you want Ostra, you can. I
Yeet.
guess get on Dusk. Perhaps I don't know if that's viable.
I can just jump. It will be fine.
It doesn't like mechanically. It's not an issue.
Good. Perfect. Perfect.
Are these things, are they metal?
You are finding it a bit hard to pin.
I don't have
down.
dark vision, so I probably can't even see them.
Yeah, if you don't have dark vision, then yeah.
Which is kind of bullshit, by the way, for me not to have dark vision. Like, what the fuck? I don't understand how the species does not have dark vision.
I mean,
But okay.
I mean,
But yeah,
I think
D&D
you were
is
still
D&D.
once a human, so.
Sure, fair.
So skill issue, I guess.
Yeah, it is a skill.
So you
Good.
guys right now
Okay.
have the surprise round, effectively.
Yep.
I'm gonna say, just so that we have it in the order, let's roll initiative.
Good. Okay. Yes. I would suggest everyone gets a +3
Oh, nice. Yes.
for
yes.
initiative.
That's
Oh, nice,
your thing.
Order of the Watchers.
Neat.
I'd love to watch you.
It's a nat 20.
What
so,
is it?
23. So alert, it's another +5, so 26.
Jeez.
Jesus Christ.
I think
You get 2
you're-
turns this
I
round.
think you're going first.
Hilal.
I think you're going first.
Maybe, possibly, perhaps, perchance.
You said +2 or +2
Plus three.
for
plus
your.
three.
Okay. Are we saying them out loud, or are you going to?
So, if everyone's ready, yes, we can do well, 30 to 25.
Damn. Almost.
Hello?
I was so close.
30 to 25.
Oh, sorry. 27.
27. There you go.
But
I
listen,
wasn't far off.
25 to 20.
I wasn't far off. 24.
24. Okay. 20 to 15.
15.
Okay. Alright. And 15 to 10.
10.
Okay. Man, honestly,
It honestly works great.
not
Because maybe I
bad.
can tell what the fuck these things are before I hit them with something that does nothing.
Fair enough. True.
I don't need these
I'm
guys
just tuning
anymore.
to Ostra. I'm going 1, 2,
Okay.
and I intended 3 go, but she went to 3, so she has like a higher need.
So, yes.
3
Yeah.
go.
Okay. So,
yeet!
Oh.
you may essentially begin.
Good.
Ostre, it is your turn. Right now, these creatures seem to be asleep.
And they are up.
They are up, but you can reach them. It is fine. You jump a little bit. There is. Let's go with like 1 and 2. Which one do you want to target? Just for my sake of starting to track.
If I were to target the ceiling and cast Shatter, would they come down and get fall damage?
Possibly.
Interesting.
You can try.
It's interesting.
These are. Be aware. I will let you know on a mechanical standpoint. When you attack a sleeping creature, they are unconscious, which gives you benefits making a directed attack, I believe.
Also, we don't want to destroy the room because we
Yes,
have to
any-
check.
So they
That's
would
also-
automatically fail their strength or dexterity saves or whatever you want to cast. But an
Oh.
attack roll, you have advantage, and if you hit, it's well, no. If the attacker is within 5 feet, so in this case you wouldn't get that benefit actually. But you do have advantage on the attack if you want to go for an attack.
Only dex and strength, this.
Yes, automatically fails Dex and
Damn.
strength saving throws.
I don't have that.
Okay. But attack rolls have advantage.
Advantage, okay, good.
Any
Even with ranged.
Yes, any attack roll. Attack
Okay.
roll against the creature have advantage. It's only any attack that
Mhm.
hits the creature is a critical hit if the attacker is within 5 feet of the creature. So even though
Yeah.
you guys have reach, you still would need to somehow
Yeah.
get within 5 feet of them to be able to actually get that benefit. But yeah, Oscar, it's up to you. If you wish to go for a spell, you
Oh
may.
well, I will just go for a nice simple attack.
Go for it.
Or two
Cheeky,
nice
cheeky.
simple attacks.
Yes. And you have advantage.
Nope. Better. Mela. 18 to hit.
So 18 will definitely hit. My question to you will be this. Do you want to attack the same one?
I'd say 1 and 1.
So, okay. So you will take...
Or wait. What do you guys think? Do you think it would be smart?
Up to you.
You could have discussed this
It's your
preemptively,
call.
so it's...
Up to you, really. I just want to know if they're metal or not.
I would say focus 1, move to the next, so if they get a chance to attack, they won't attack both of them.
True. I like that.
Yeah,
Minimizing damage.
I'll focus on the same then.
Okay.
So 18 with the first attack, I'll roll the second.
Yeah, roll the second just to do everything at once.
I'm listening out if the clang is
So
Imitating
immediately I will
organic.
confirm to you they are not constant.
Okay.
These guys are not constant.
nice.
16 plus
Good,
8.
good. Okay. 58. I like that.
So,
28.
what was the second one to hit?
18 and 22.
Oh, nice. You hit with both. So do your damage total. You have D10 on each.
Yes.
So 2d10 plus, I believe, your charisma of both of them. And whatever your bark does, which I forget. Like the necrosis. The bit of necrosis.
Okay.
I'm gonna look for a second D10. Give me a second, guys.
So,
if you would have let me, I would have moved my skeletons next to Asta in the
yes,
doorway.
you could have positioned yourselves however you wanted to at the start of this.
Out of
Reasonably
curiosity,
yeah.
is anyone else seeing Russell?
freeze
Doesn't-
up. Yes. I
Yeah,
think.
Okay.
I think it's the Wi-Fi.
Oh,
Oh, there we are.
no.
Rusty,
He's
gone
no.
down. And down.
That's the
He was
one.
killed by the bats.
Gets
Am
new
I-
setup. Internet does not cooperate.
It was weird.
Hi.
My
Back.
Wi-Fi died, but no, it's okay.
Okay. So, as Ostra starts doing, will calculate damage. This creature does awaken at this point, so it is no longer unconscious. But the rest of you all have your turns. The other one is still unconscious though, because they.
Oh, I rolled shit.
So, Selene, you are next.
I rolled a shit.
Bad.
Unconscious doesn't mean crit, right?
It would mean crit if you are within 5 feet.
Unconscious is not a crit.
Unconscious is crit if you are within 5 feet specifically.
I see.
Mela. I will sharpshooter and I will like one shot.
Okay. So on one of them you will have advantage because it is still asleep. The other one
26
has.
damage.
Oh, well.
26 damage.
I have advantage anyways.
Oh, because they haven't acted
Because-
on it. Lovely.
Yes.
How much?
26
So
to
technically on
12.
one of them I have double advantage.
Yeah.
I rolled 2 d10s. I rolled 2 on both.
Well, and still you got the
Nice.
26,
So that
still-
is 21 on the first one.
Yeah, you did.
And then on the other one. Damn, that was
Okay.
almost a crit.
I get two.
It is a 17.
17 total hits.
Nice. So I get
These are not-
3.
As-
Damage. They will.
Twice, 3 times. Okay. 3
I
times.
will. Did I do it on this? The hell is the. Confirming.
After Selene, we have Onslaught. You are next.
Perfect.
Oh shit.
I'll keep it. What?
Oh fuck.
Fuck it. I will. And they are with. Are they within 30 feet?
Of you, yes. Yes, they are. They are. So one is like.
I'm just realizing that planar warrior, the augment attacks. Bonus action, choose one creature you can see within 30 feet of you.
So they need to be within 30 feet in order to actually get the thing. I see.
Which I don't know, it feels odd that it's like within 30 feet. It's like, okay, so I can't technically.
Yeah, I think the
Um,
vibe is for like melee based.
Melee, yeah.
Which I find weird. Like if
So-
you build, like you made a subclass for a ranger, why do you make something that's like
Yeah.
not short bow,
Yeah.
at least short bow?
Because the
friendly?
ranger needs to be shafted.
Yeah, truly. Truly.
What I can technically do, I'm not gonna waste it. I can because I have Zephyr's Strike
It's up to you.
as one of my spells, and that has no range.
Yeah.
They deals an extra 1d8
How much
and
damage?
advantage as well.
That's
So
yeah.
that is so there's a they are not humanoid, correct?
No, these creatures are
Okay.
not
10
humanoid.
feet.
No.
Okay, so they both get a flat 18.
Mhm.
And then the first one also takes 1.
Okay.
Nice.
And the other one takes 8. That is
Okay,
balanced.
that is yeah. Nice. Alright.
So yeah, one of them takes 19, the other one takes 26.
Nice. I did first one. You said the one that Ostra attacked, and then the second one is
Yep,
the
yep,
second
yep.
one. طيب. Now they both awake in this moment, but this is all happening in a second, so they still haven't even had the chance to let out any noise. Onslaught, you immediately follow up.
Beautiful. I'm gonna go with a bonus action Wrathful Smite from my
Okay.
piety.
Okay.
Nice.
Nice.
And
1 minute.
and yep, on the one that is most
All
damaged,
right.
I suppose.
Go for it.
So let's go with with that. No advantage, right?
No, but I
Good.
will allow you to get a +2 because you are kind of ishly flanking with Ostra.
Ah,
So-
okay. Yeah. I'll take that. Good. So that is a nice 10 plus 10, 25 to hit.
No, yes, that is.
Perfect. And since they haven't taken their turn,
They have not.
I have the sneakiest sneak gives me
Like this, like me.
2d6s
2d6.
for damage on anyone.
2d
Let me see if
sneak.
it's only once per turn. It's a surprise attack. Nope, it's not once per turn. Nice.
Lovely. This is a
So-
bugbear thing, right?
It is a bugbear thing, yes. Surprise
Okay.
attack. As long as it hasn't taken a turn yet in combat. So,
Nice.
15 plus Wrathful Smite.
If you hit a creature, it will attack the creature.
15, 19.
And so it takes it on every attack you do, even if
Right.
it's like targeting
Am I
the
reading
same-
it right?
No, you're reading it right. If you hit a creature with an attack,
That's
roll,
good.
Creature takes an extra 2d6 damage if it hasn't taken a turn yet. It's not once
Mhm.
per turn. It's not once per creature.
Yeah.
Okay, build a fucking fighter with action surge.
Yeah.
Bonk, bonk,
so-
bonk.
So 23 damage. Should I tell you the psychic part?
No, that is not necessary.
Good. So 23 total. Wisdom saving throw against frightened, unless they are.
Oh, you almost got to the funny number of damage. So close. Like
You mean the
total,
dare
nice
you,
number of
Taylor?
damage?
like total amongst all of you guys. Deal 1 damage.
No any
I do. I have one more attack, and against the same guy.
Wisdom saving throw. You said.
Yes, please. Yes.
Wisdom. That is a 12.
Oh wow.
Oh wait, this is like a spell. Wishing.
It is. It is.
Okay, it is a 17. They
That's
have
fair, that's
magical resistance.
That's fair.
Oh.
I will try again. No more Wrathful Smite. But I do if I let's see if I hit. Wait, it's fair. Oh, same number, 25.
Okay.
So I add
It
again
is.
to
It
the
is looking.
sixes.
It is looking bad.
Okay,
Like-
good,
Oh, shit,
good,
okay.
good. I mean, I rolled good. 12, 14 plus 4, 18 damage. Nice, I like this.
So close. It is up. Just barely.
Damn it, I used my bonus
Damn.
action. Never mind. Good.
But
They have polar.
as you finish your turn, Zenkila is following up. This creature has immediately Ostre strikes it. It wakens. An arrow just shoots through it and then passes through to the other one. Onslaught immediately follows up with another strike. And then it's like the wings are unfurling, blood splattering, dripping off and falling down on the ground. Zenkila, you are last in the initiative right now, just because they don't get a turn this round.
Yep.
So
I will
I
just
feel
seeing
bad.
this a week. I will I'll just throw a firebolt at it.
okay, go for it.
You.
It is immune to fire.
This is a 16 hit.
A 16 does hit. These are
Nice.
not very hard things.
Mana. D10.
That's the only thing they're immune to.
Yes. They're immune to the firebolt spell.
Ooh.
Industry, you know?
Really good damage.
Specifically the fireballs.
That's really good. That's 17 fire damage.
You very
How do you
specifically.
want to finish this one off?
I'm just seeing it so weak. It's well, I can't even wait. Shit. You said there's no light in here, no?
It's fine. I'd say like the light is shining in as you put down the firebolt. It's
I
like,
mean, I can roll
take it.
disadvantage if you want. I don't mind.
Sure, do it. Sure.
Just to be exact. And that's natural one.
Oh no.
Why did you have to do this?
Oh
Why?
no. Oh
I-
no.
It's part of the game. It's
Wait.
part of the game.
That's fair, that's
Oh
fair.
yeah. Okay, you didn't say it.
Part of the game.
Wouldn't
Can
it technically be? Wouldn't it technically be a straight? Ah no, because they're both awake.
Because they
Yeah,
then they
that's what
became
I mean.
awake when Dana.
But I do have my skeletons with their bows.
That's true. That's
That's
true.
true,
And I
yes.
think skeletons actually have dark vision.
I fucking hope so.
No.
They
They do dark vision 60
Yep,
feet.
yep,
They
yep,
do.
yep,
Go for it. You have.
Okay, that's really good.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll do one of them for now. One of them gets
Yeah.
dirty 20 to hit,
Yep, that hits.
so that's a kill it for sure.
It has two.
Not even
hits
gonna roll.
left.
Yeah, I'm not gonna roll. And he'll just be like, he'd see me fail that firebolt, and he'll step in front of me, just like,
Yeah.
and move back.
I'd say following the arc of the light and just using
Exactly.
it to give it. Yeah.
Also,
Lovely.
I probably watched too many like D&D stories in Nana, but I was I always expect when we roll shit like not once and stuff.
No, I don't kill you.
You actually no,
Oh, yeah,
you
the
actually
critical
You
misses.
shoot yourself in the foot and
No,
deal
no, no,
double
no.
damage
no,
to yourself.
not that.
You remember those
Actually
critical
worse.
misses from?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
was gonna mention
Okay.
those.
Yeah, not good.
Not that much
Other
worse.
skeleton.
The character,
Not
the
that
character
much
that shacks
worse.
himself
Uh,
because
you
of
accidentally
those
hit
stupid
the
critical
enemy too late
misses.
and all the damage that it took.
So other
creatures,
skeletons.
though. Yes, other skeletons may go.
The other guy, that's a 22 to hit, something like that,
Hits.
and that is 5, 6, that is 7 piercing damage,
Alright. Neat.
and that's it.
Okay.
Zinkila, if you were to shoot the firebolt using your Find Familiar, would that apply? Just a thought that passed.
I don't think I can.
I think familiars can only bring touch spells. But something for you to remember, Zinkala, you could have your familiar give you the help action to make it attack.
I know, to be fair, but I didn't.
But 50
Yes,
I
yes.
I like things making sense,
Yeah.
and it didn't make sense for that to work, because like, what's you gonna do?
I mean, if the snake, maybe do snakes have?
I couldn't think of a way to say it happened. So, what I will do, I will send the snake to.
They have blind sight.
I'll send the snake to Sir Onslaught to give the help action, because at least he'll be directly below it, so he can do something with it. We'll see.
Alright. Neat. Okay. So, technically, actually, it would have been their turn now, right after Zinkila, but surprise. So,
So
literally,
I get the 2d6 extra again.
yes, because it hasn't taken its turn yet, because it's a surprise.
So I'm
Um,
ready.
So, I'm just going to narrate this before you all slaughter it, because it has half the hit points the other one started with, and you dealt
Damn.
1.5 of these creatures worth of hit points. So, I will just say, as it like the round ends, the other one falls to the ground, and now you see the body as it's like its wings furl open and it falls. To give you easiest context, it looks like a harpy.
Oh,
But
okay.
it has a mask on its face. And it,
Okay, suddenly I no longer feel bad.
I mean, yeah. And it is basically, you see a very like classic harpy, but rather than bird wings, they are bat wings. It seems like
Yeah.
just a different aesthetic, a different type of harpy monstrosity. And these are monstrosity type creatures for the sake of Donald to confirm on what type of creatures they are. But yes, it falls. The other one, kind of like rousing from its sleep, just lets out a screech and just turns enough to look at the two swinging glaives as you make your stacks. You may go.
First to attack.
So then you may make your attacks as well. Just go.
15.
Go. 15 hits.
Just because. 16. No, not even. I'm sorry, I miscalculated. It's not 15 because I have only a +8, which means 13 on one
13 just misses.
and 14.
14 just hits.
Damn.
Okay, so now it is awake. It was enough to like move away from one of the strikes, but you managed to clip it on the other.
Push a mock.
Alright.
3 rolls for
Yeah.
damage. Thrice I got 2.
It's language.
How much do you add to your damage?
I have a +7 for slashing. And the I don't know if in that like +7 the
That
charisma-
already adds your charisma modifier to it.
Angel. 9 points.
9 points of damage. Okay.
I
So
keep
then-
rolling 2s on the d.
Hey, you could miss entirely, so
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
don't worry about that.
Still 9 damage.
In fact, one of my attacks was a 9. The other one was a 21,
Okay.
which I
Good
both
point.
sharpshooted.
21
Um,
will hit.
We take those.
Maybe it'll get a
So
30.
that is yeah, they get it gets an 18 flat.
Uh-huh. Yeah, no,
And
it's-
then the table. And the other one and for an extra 5 damage.
Okay. Onslaught.
Yeah. Let's go for it. Can I position myself to flank?
Yes. You.
And you have advantage with the snake.
Yes, your first attack
Oh,
will have
nice.
advantage.
Good. My first attack with advantage. Yeah, that's an 18 plus 28 total.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's
Let's see.
20 points of damage.
Jesus. I think
It's
it's
dead.
Second attack,
It's up.
not,
It's second.
not
Okay.
advantage. That is, 25 to hit.
Okay. How do you want to finish it off?
Yeah, I had also the
Yeah,
other
yeah.
end of the.
Oh,
polearm, but
right.
I
You got a
didn't
bonus
use-
action polearmed. Oh,
But
such-
I did retro smite, but I shouldn't have. But yeah, as it falls down in sort of in conjunction
Yeah,
with
yeah.
Austra's attacks, I'd like to. We basically like scissors.
Yeah, lovely. I love it. You meet, the glaives meet, they cling
Yeah,
into
good,
each other
nice.
at the end, and the creature falls next to its ally, and they are dead. You just killed 2 harpy matriarchs who had been consumed by the corruption. Lovely.
Ooh,
Lovely.
this is why we
Good
attack
job.
preemptively.
Good job.
No one was hurt. That's good. Perfect. No, we can.
No strategizing like a bitch.
Yeah.
Only preventive attack.
So, this room is
we can
clear. You may investigate
Yep.
it with
we
ease.
can investigate to our heart's content.
Donuts. Anyone who
Let's,
wishes may.
I will
go
use
for-
my investigation to check. I will check the desk.
Be careful. The desk may be trapped.
No, you just
I'm-
sense a magical. Donna, it does not feel like it is a trap.
Okay, good.
There is no further danger in this room. I will confirm. There is no further.
Okay,
danger.
nice.
I will check the desk. That is where my brain goes.
Okay. Yes, go nuts.
Well,
Do I roll?
Yes. Anyone who wishes may roll investigation checks. I'll allow perception checks as well, but different information. Different disease.
Can I get the help action for
I
my
You
roll
may.
a perception check.
You may.
And can I go around? I'd give the help action using my detective.
Yeah, I'm being like your bonus is being added. Like that is being given
perfect,
to
perfect.
people who are.
You're right. It's a bonus.
Like-
Yeah. Let me roll it.
I would say it's like because advantage. I feel I prefer bonuses over advantages. They're like I think a flat
I agree.
bonus is so much nicer.
17 for investigation.
Nice,
30-20.
nice.
13 perception.
13. Okay, that's one done. So, perception doesn't yield you much on the room front, but your interest is pulled towards the creatures. And it's more so you notice something on the creatures, actually, Selen. They are dead. Initially it's like, interesting. Some reaches of your mind might have once interacted with a harpy before, but it is scattered. But now you have like a context of like, this is what a harpy looks like. Yes, the harpy. The word pops into your head. And it's like, okay. So you have that. And you notice something like that they seem to have on their person. But you look and basically at first you're kind of like consumed by harpies. Oh, these are done. And then as you notice it's like probably Zenkilla will be the one who like meets you and sees it at the same time. But I will do everyone else's. No. Sir Onslaught, you mainly the detect magic is pointing at the desk. You're like, guys, you should check the desk. Just check the desk. There's nothing else.
Yep.
It's just the desk.
Take the desk. Take the desk.
If I can see other things in it, or I will collect them.
Yeah,
but
sure.
Only if they're immediately
I'd
available.
say at most you can pick up any 2 martial weapons that are +1. Anything of your choice. And you can also get a +2 light or medium armor.
Oh wow, okay.
Also of your choice. So, Zenkilla, you initially begin with well actually no. I'd say you're sure the desk is something you need to check. So you make sure to check everything else first, because it's like that I can leave for last because I know it's there.
Fair enough.
And you start going around other places. You notice some of the stuff that Sir Onslaught actually picks up, and it's like, oh, that armor looks actually pretty potent. A +2 armor is pretty strong.
Yeah.
And then you see Selen like hovering over the harpies, and he seems to be like having a moment of just like understanding what they look like, taking them in more like analysis. And you're like, oh yes, I haven't seen a harp like at this creature up close. You don't actually have the context of the name for these yourself. And then you're looking, and then you see like Selen's eye move, and you're like also, and both of you see both of them have something around their necks. It seems to be tied, like there's something like metal that is moving from this collar up into the mask, and it seems like it's connected with the mask that they are wearing. As you call Onslaught over, Onslaught, you pick up magic from it. It is faint, but it's not faint because the magic is weak. It is faint because the magic is of a different category. You're not sure what that means on a fundamentally like scholar level, but what you have experienced before is this is waking god magic, which tends to be less loud in the sleeping realms, in the dreaming lands. And that's why
yes.
like and you notice that yeah, and then there's the thing in the desk. If you want to look into this first,
I would like to mage hand because I'm not touching that shit. Try to either pull off the mask or yank the necklace.
so I would
I
like
would
you...
also
I'll do both,
attempt.
but-
Okay. You would, so you're attempting physically, like with physically those?
I think
I would not with like bare hands. I would like grab an arrow and like kind
Okay,
of see
okay,
like
you're trying to
try.
have okay, I'd say both of you. So for Zenkilla, this can essentially be, it's like you're using your Arcana as an athletics check. Kind of vibe. Selen, for you, this would still be an athletics check because you are still using like.
Okay.
So I roll Arcana. So
Yes, you roll Arcana. I would allow you to give either one of you give advantage to the other, but if you prefer to roll separately, you can.
I'll roll separately. I have pretty good Arcana.
I have proficiency in athletics.
So a 19 for me.
that's nice.
21? Yeah, that's a 21.
21. So combined, you begin looking at this collar. You immediately realize the mask is fused. There is no pulling off the mask. But you focus your efforts on this collar instead. And you begin moving. Selen basically finds a nook, using the arrow as some leverage, and the mage hand begins to kind of look on the inside, and it does eventually find something like a little lever or a clasp that is unhookable, and you manage to pry it off. The collar falls, and it is emanating some level of magic. It is hard to even to understand what school it is. But from Zenkela's perspective, at most, you recognize this to be some kind of domination magic, some kind of charm level thing. As you look at the runes on the inside, you understand that there is some level of control.
Okay. What I would do is, I don't really want anyone holding these per se. I think I will give both of them to be held by one of the skeletons.
Okay.
If I can wedge it into their armor, for example.
Yeah.
Or
you can I'd say you can reasonably find a pouch that you have that you're not quite using.
wrap it.
You tie it up to the
What are
skeleton.
those exactly?
So you basically have two. We can call them, for the sake of writing them down, command collars.
I mean, you guys can grab one if you want, but I don't like anything that has charm.
Yeah.
I'd rather not. Yeah.
Ew, cringe.
Yeah.
I think I'm good with holding. Confirm.
Preferably they're held on us, because skeletons can easily just fall and lose them. So
Selen has advantage on saving throws made to avoid being charmed.
So do I.
If you wish. If
if you would like to risk
off
it,
the
you're
phone.
more than welcome.
As
You
in,
are
I don't need to hold it, but if you want it to be in someone's position just in
Yeah,
case.
I'd rather be. Yeah, I'll mage them. I'll mage hand them over to Selen.
Selen,
If he's
you have
confident.
right now two command collars.
The way that you're all handling it as if it was a steaming pile of shit.
I mean, honestly.
I mean, they're command colors.
Honestly, fair
No,
enough.
I'm not criticizing. I'm saying that it's amazing. We're all just
Otherwise, you move to the desk and you find the last thing that's in the room. You open up a drawer in the desk, and initially there is nothing in the drawer, but Onslaught is no, there's definitely something in there. It's under.
Yes.
And there's a flat, a secret bottom to it that you remove the wood, and there is. It's kind of the best way to describe it's a sort of holy symbol, but it is a little bit more hefty construct. It's not just a tiny 2-dimensional symbol. It's more of a 3-dimensional thing, almost kind of like a gem. It's a little orb with a holy symbol of Ankam on it, and the schools of magic would be transmutation, and evocation.
Okay, well.
There's a bit of mix of both. Yeah.
I'll just pocket these for now, and then I will see what to do with them in a bit.
Yeah. At this point, I am going to check. Is there anything else of what that we need to look into? At this point, you have one more room to check, but I will zoom you through a little bit because also it is getting a bit late. The third room has a trap. It is a more of a mechanical trap with a bit of magic to it. You notice there is a glyph of warding with essentially what you discover as you like mess around with it, with a thunder wave that would ram you into like a pit that's like very well hidden on the side of the room, where it's like technically there's like just some like cloth and some chairs and a table, but it is hanging like on the edge of a pit that the second the thunder wave activates, they fall into the pit, and there are a bunch of spikes at the bottom. And you manage to like mess around with
Amazing.
Dana, and
Or let's figure it.
yeah, because you have like with your high perception and high investigation, you would have kind of found the things in this room. So, but yeah, you do notice that there is.
If-
Mhm.
In case you need me to, I can like try and disarm the.
Yeah, no, you've disarmed this. Effectively, you.
Okay.
The glyph,
Cool.
you trigger the glyph preemptively so that no one triggers it before. The glyph tosses the
Cool.
thunder wave and tosses like half a table and the room into a pit, and then like eventually you look over and you see they're like splintered and spikes are like going through some of the chairs, and it's like okay, neat.
Fun.
If I have detect magic still up, I'll have a.
Basically,
I'll
at the end of the detect magic, you're like reaching at it, and at this
Exactly.
point having fought technically.
Technically, it was just a second.
I mean,
round.
I just
No,
rolled a really good investigation check,
That
so maybe there's no
full
need.
Smite is what I'm thinking of, because you cast Wrathful Smite,
Ah,
which does
Oh,
break
you're
your
right.
concentration.
you're
Technically.
right. You're right. That's
No,
fair.
no, it would have been there, but I was like, but you did cast that spell, but I was checking. it.
I rolled an investigation of 27, so
So
that probably.
in this room, what you would find is, I need to just check to confirm that it is on this scale of things. No. Yes. You would find. So this room is a little bit more books and more of like a bit of a study. Not necessarily a study, but like there is books about smithing.
Okay.
There is like
Oh,
some area where people can sit down and potentially like read up a book. There's some parchment and notes and clearly like writing material that can be used to take any notes from the books and potentially like go in another room with them.
As soon as I see
Um,
books, I am looking for anything that looks like spellcraft.
Yeah, you do. And
As you should.
as you begin to peruse, you do indeed find amongst the books a more of a actual spell book.
Yes.
In
Nice.
it, you find a couple of very niche spells.
I like niche.
Yes, you would get no. For sure,
It's like-
so
Forward
there's-
kill, you know.
yes, definitely.
Forward
Forward kill,
Sun,
gate,
Wish.
wish. Yeah.
Meteor Storm.
So there
Too
should
bad
be
you don't
three
have the
spells.
gold.
There should be three
Yeah.
spells on this. So you have heat metal.
Ooh, okay.
You have what's the other one? No. Fabricate
Ooh.
Okay.
Interesting.
and creation. Creation is a 5th level spell, so that's a
Nice.
little bit outside the field. But
Mhm.
fabricate is a 4th level, and heat metal is a 2nd level.
Very, 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 very cool.
Yeah. Basically, it is a spell book, and then it has a bunch of notes about how these spells can be used in smithing. But
I take everything.
But yeah, it is a spell. So you find that.
Nice.
Otherwise, there's not much here. There is essentially a bit of like a magical set of writing utensils that basically just are like inklets, like
I
infinite
think that's
ink.
for sure.
Yeah. You have an infinite ink and quill.
Fuck yeah.
There you go. But with that, you have checked the peripheral rooms, and now the Forge of Foresight and the Forge of Brutality the two forges sitting side by side in this room await you, as we will see what they provide in the next session. We will stop there for today.
Oh, that was lovely.
Perfect. Because
Very
the food
nice.
just arrived right now, so I'm
Oh,
gonna cook
nice.
it.
Nice. Alright.
The timing is perfect.
Perfect. Then, with that, to anyone watching, we thank you for sticking around, watching us do our shenanigans and play and write our stories as they are. A bit of generous scheduling. We're hoping we're gonna get a little bit back into the vibe of it. Hopefully next week we will be doing a bit of a Pathfinder. We've already I might have not live streamed the episodes yet, actually, but we have done a couple of Pathfinder sessions before. We're dipping our toes into a new system, but hopefully next week we'll do another session. We'll do a session of that, starting a new campaign. Russell will be DMing that, and then the week
Yeah,
after, maybe not on the Wednesday itself, but at some point in the week after, we will do another Sleeping Gods and whatever we can muster in between. So stay tuned, stick around, and I hope you all have a good evening. Farewell, good night,
Bye-bye.
take care, adios.